Stop. Go.
Okay, so you giant nerds, if we can stop counting down, up, and sideways.
When this
Welcome,
random number generator hits 0.
welcome to the 170th session of Regiment on the Run. You might not have been here for the previous 160. That's okay. So, last we left off, the party had gotten across a lake, not by going around it, but by stubbornly building a bridge over it, because Urt really wanted to do that, and also it gave the party time to actually care for and raise some of their new members, and also Toad.
And also Toad.
And unfortunately, Urt was not cared for and raised, and so he lives in an abusive environment.
I just like that, Farron's like, wait, I can help. And it's like, no!
Didn't you do that to Terry?
He did it to both of them. I think he did it to Farron twice.
Oh, God. Well, both of these are true. Anywho, so with that, we are going to zoom into the camp where, unfortunately, there is something fishy going on. As
Are there
Terry and
fish?
no, the fish are not as fishy as you might expect.
Dang.
So Zan, Terry, and Toad are all hanging out in their tent, making plans for where to go next. And a big thing that's on your guys' mind is that there are rumors and reports of a monster down south that has been causing some troubles, demanding tribute from people and sometimes attacking them, to the point where it's got a bounty on it. Unfortunately, the place that the monster has been sighted is gone. Like, it does not exist. It has unexisted and people don't know how. Zara actually gives a report from what she experienced, and what she experienced is the place where the mountain once was appears to be slightly to moderately on fire.
Oh my.
So the mountain was exploded.
Exploded, yes, but she didn't actually get close enough to actually confirm whether the creature itself died. Her best guess is that the creature did some sort of wild magic sort of thing, but even then, she's not sure if wild magic has that much power.
Hmm. What do you
I'm
guys think?
I'm enraptured with Shaggy's wagon drawing at the moment.
Yeah, speaking of, hey Urt, you seem to have gotten a letter, and you didn't tell the rest of the party about what you got? That's interesting.
It was personal.
Extremely personal, huh? Well, one of the soldiers is going up and asking, what are you doing? And also, why are you packing up the crystal onto a wagon?
Or just looks at him as like, you hold the chicken.
No,
Or
we've been over this, and it is a standing order from Zan and Terry not to listen to any of your orders.
True.
or just makes a grab at the guy's summon chicken rune.
He dances back out of the way and he says, "Okay, I'm gonna be a moment."
Oh god, it's loose!
So Terry and Zan witness as a soldier comes up to the tent and says, "Urt is doing Urt things again."
Zan gets ready to play rock paper scissors with
Uh.
Terry to figure out whose job it is to deal with this.
Terry looks to you and goes, "We're both going."
Zan makes sad bird noises.
Toad baps Zan on the shoulder and says, "OSHA approved."
I love you, Toad.
Okay. Has now levitated the chicken and is slowly carrying it down to install it between the wagons. Things.
The wagons things.
Yeah, the things that you hook up the bird to.
I see.
The soldiers are now standing around in a ring and taking bets on whether it's Terry or Zan who is going to be more angry about this.
I mean, I head down. Is Terry coming with me, or did Terry just trick me into going solo?
That's up to Terry.
Hmm.
I think Terry ditched you.
Terry's coming along, sorry.
Okay,
Or
so
just it's like, oh good, it's you. You speak bird. Tell this thing to stop trying to kill me.
Zan walks over to Urt. Oh, not on top of Urt.
Zan lands on Urt's head.
Get off my head.
Grabs Urt by the head by his bald head and carries him away from the bird in the wagon.
Behind you, the levitate spell wears off. The chicken is free again.
The chicken has decided that it is better off upside down.
Who summoned the ostrich?
Me.
So it should obey you.
Uh, yeah, it turns out they have the ability to learn. And after 30 generations of being culled for more feathers, yeah.
Toad reaches up with his little mushroom sword and bops Ert on the nose.
You gonna say it?
Toad reaches up with his little mushroom sword and bops Ert on the nose.
He's not saying it. It doesn't count.
Toad reaches up with his little mushroom sword and bops Ert on the nose.
It's broken. Terry, your pet's broken.
Toad turns to Terry and says, "You think he'd learn?"
It's just Terry going, unfortunately, I think his parents might have dropped a boulder on his head as a child.
I mean, yeah. How do you weed out the babies with soft skulls?
All baby what all babies have soft. No,
Maybe bird
stop.
babies.
Terry looks to Zan and just goes, I'm sure there's plenty of things his parents have told him just to keep him from questioning his upbringing.
Mostly they'd kill me if I did. Like Ert 1 and Ert 2.
What number are you?
I don't know. They won't tell me.
Uh-huh.
But they're all here. I need to go off and do some dwarf stuff. You guys are in charge.
Yeah, we've always
Now-
been in charge. Where are you taking the crystal?
Looks at the note in his hand.
Zan takes the note from Ert's hand.
The note immediately bursts into flames.
I did not do that.
Zan is actually fairly certain about that Ert did not do that.
Yeah,
So
Ert
burst
doesn't play with fire. Ert plays with rocks.
So it burst into flames the second I grabbed it?
Yes.
Okay, Ert, tell me word for word what that note said.
Ert just sort of spaces out.
I know
Like-
something, says Lunk Thunk.
No, you don't.
I do.
Terry looks to Lung Thunk and just says, what do you know, Lung Thunk?
Lunk Thunk says, Ert said that he needed the crystal for a secret dwarf project.
I was going to say that. But yeah, Ert, he got a secret dwarf message. It said doing secret dwarf things. It had the codes, the ciphers, said where to go, the yield needed.
So, where are you going and what is the project?
Well, the note's on fire, so I don't fucking know.
You didn't memorize it?
Lunk Thunk raises his battering ham.
Yes, Lung Thunk.
He said he was going to Dwarvish settlement.
Well, yeah, but I don't know where it is.
Did he tell you what the secret mission was?
Did I?
He said secret mission is a secret,
Good.
especially from elf and bird.
Well, that's just because they don't understand dwarf stuff.
Terry,
Uh-huh.
Lunk Thunk does not understand dwarf stuff, but you told Lunk Thunk.
I didn't honestly think you could understand what I was saying. I was talking to Katie.
Oh, okay.
So wait, is the crystal in the wagon Katie or Tina?
It's a shard.
It's a shard. Okay.
Ert has chopped off a shard of condensed energy. He doesn't want to bring the whole crystal on this, just what's needed.
the fact that you are taking away the resources from the entire army kind of makes it no longer just your business.
All crystals are inherently dwarf property.
How does that work out?
That is not how this world works.
And Ian puts his arm on Ert's head and says, "That's fine, because all dwarves are elven property."
Okay, so yes, Ian is trying to be smug and elf, and Ert's just like, who the hell are you?
Ian looks to Ert and says, "That's okay. Don't stress your little brain."
Terry is very amused.
Okay, I won't. Now, who's going to help me get the cart moving? We got dwarf stuff to do.
Like, well, okay, but we need to know what the dwarf stuff is.
This should be the point where you realize Erd has no idea at all.
So you don't even know where you're going?
Well, I did until someone burned the note, Zan.
You think I burned the note?
Well, then we don't even need to go.
We'll figure it out. Ert
Uh,
intends to just basically cast sense magic and aim for the most magical thing he can find in the region. On the very sound
And
assumption that that'll probably be the dwarf he's looking for.
it just ends up being Tina.
And they told you to bring a crystal?
They said they needed, exactly 27 energy.
Aha.
So you're going to a bunch of dwarves who need energy in the form of crystals, and exactly 27 of it.
Well, they said at least 27.
Lungthunk raises a hand and says, Mr. Ert,
Ert just revolves his head like Zan does.
Your neck's gonna hurt.
It's just a terrible cracking noises.
Lungthunk
So I'm not an owl, I'm a freaking eagle.
Lungthunk points to the little readout on his crystal and says, but Katie says she only has 22 energy.
Well, that's because I put 27 of it into the cart.
I'm pretty sure there was only 22 to start with.
Ert belatedly realizes that this is a valid point and this entire project was doomed from the start.
Harry just like going on top of that, we're talking about a bunch of dwarves who want your crystal in a very specific amount. I
After
feel
having
this-
just encountered the crystal and skull dwarf.
I have a feeling that these are the crazy crystal dwarves, the ones that you say are crazy even for dwarven standards.
Well, that doesn't mean they don't do awesome shit.
Yeah, but it does mean we're not giving them crystals.
But they had the code words.
Code words be damned, you're not doing it.
Erd is just sulking. Like, that's it. Erd is just sulking at this point because he doesn't know where to go. He doesn't actually know why he was going there. The chicken kicked his ass.
And so did the ostrich.
And now he realizes that the soul crystal he put in there is actually just paper mache.
Zan pours water on it and it just dissolves.
Oh, it was rice paper.
Oh, God.
Terry is kind of done with this nonsense and he's just check his clipboard, just to see what's going on, get updates from his friend, see if he's, on his way to be safe on the mainlands and away from
So-
all the drama.
While Terry's looking down, Ert's going to start trying to convince Zan. Zan, we have another bounty.
Another bounty.
It's for a dwarf.
How much?
I don't know, however much Terry's friend said he was going to pay. Terry, your friend's still paying for dwarves, right?
Terry, you mean my college? Yes.
Yeah, your dad. What you looking at?
I'm just getting an update on the news from the Empire.
And the news from the Empire is not particularly good. Your contact and the Empire, unfortunately, has to say quite a lot of things in a very rapid sequence. For one, it seems that a lot of bad things have been happening as a direct result of the dwarves not going with any sort of operational security. They put it that way. When the Empire decided that they needed a whole bunch of new spells from Vigas, from the Vigan mainlands, the dwarves decided that all the old spells that they had already produced were obsolete, and so just gave the runes to the populace. And that did not end well.
Well, yeah, obviously.
A lot of summon turkey leg.
Well,
That, but also stuff like Firebolt and Scorching Ray and things of that nature. And then when the average populace realized that there wasn't anything keeping them in line except for the threats of violence from people who used these exact runes, the average citizen decided, hey, you know what? Maybe I can do something better for myself by using these runes. And that resulted in a lot of people taking their safety into their own hands, you could say. A lot of
Mm.
Empire agents were blatantly murdered recently.
I see nothing wrong with this.
Ert nods and says we probably shouldn't have distributed the runes of silent murder.
As Terry is updating them and mentions this part, they kind of see that Terry's smiling at that. Just, oh no, a bunch of important people that were high in power has died.
So have you
Oh.
told us any of this, more or less?
You're just
He's
telling us.
reading some of the news out loud. Yeah, you're getting the news snippets.
Okay, well, Ert assures you that it all makes sense because all the magic they're dumping back into the Empire ecosystem will be returned in the form of soul energy as the population attrition takes hold. And then they can recycle it into higher level runes. So it's all very efficient.
Just Terry, I'm sure it is, Ert. Anyways, he continues with the news.
The next bit of news that pops up on Terry's radar is that apparently there is some activity from a certain familiar figure from your past. Zan, do you remember the captain?
Of course, I remember that asshole.
Yeah, and wasn't he just such a wonderfully interesting individual who had your best interests in mind?
Nothing of the sort. Why do you ask?
Well, because apparently he is deciding that things are going badly for some reason, and he is intending to take some precautions to preserve him and his cabal. And those details are not going over the clipboard immediately, but he is insistent to his trusted friends and contacts that he has a way of getting them out of their bad situation. He has the perfect contact in mind. He just needs to send them a letter.
So Terry, seeing like this little update, will pull out his other clipboard, the one that's connected to the captain's hacked clipboard.
Wait, isn't that where you just got that info?
No, his informant is giving him a lot of this stuff.
Ah,
And he's gonna hand over the hacked one to Zan though, and just be like, hey, why don't you read through the logs? Oh, and ignore the tiny hearts. I just send those anonymously at random times in the day to piss him off.
You say you send hearts as like a letter. He just gets like
No, it
random
just
messages.
yeah, through the clipboard, he gets a random little heart from an anonymous message. It doesn't say who it's from or what clipboard it's from. It's just a random little heart.
Uh-huh. So Zan starts reading.
So,
What is
the next thing that appears on the clipboard feed, so this is the hacked clipboard that Terry is holding, or the
That
clipboard.
the hacked one is the one that Zan is holding. Terry was holding the normal one that he's kind of disconnected a bit from the Empire, but he can still talk to his informant.
Okay, so with all that said, then Zan is witnessing as the captain apparently decides that his best course of action is to call on a known mercenary who should be amenable given the right pressures. It is very clear that they are talking about Zan.
Yeah, Zan just looks at this and looks at Terry and says, "This guy is gonna try to contact me, and
Ert
he
just
wants
looks
me
at
to."
the clipboard and says, have you ever been amenable?
Terry takes the clipboard back to hand it to Zan and go, "Do you even know what the word amenable means?"
Ert raises a hand.
He's talking to Ert.
Ert, um, into men?
I am not into men, or in case you're wondering.
I mean, I figured you're a bird.
Yeah, I'm not into bird men either, for the record.
Racist.
Uh,
Oh my!
anyway, this thinks that he can use me to help him and his friends out of a sticky situation. I
Terry's
really
thinking
want to
of
kill him. Can
just
we?
Terry.
Can we maybe?
Terry just like, well, if he's gonna end up in the mainlands, cutting off his own influence to the Empire, I have no more use for him.
Wait, he's the what?
The captain that hired
He's
me.
coming here?
I think he is here based on this. Yes.
Yes.
So he is on the mainlands, and he's trying to. Okay, just
The hell did he
make
do
sure-
that?
Didn't
It's-
we already discuss that the Empire's crystals were going crazy?
And so that does actually raise the question of how he got here on the mainlands, if he wasn't part of the invasion force, because Zan cannot imagine him as part of the invasion force.
That's accurate.
No, we can't. Not at all.
So
Urt's eyes brighten up. He says, I know what the magic is for.
What's the magic
Oh.
for?
Someone found a high-level teleport spell.
That's actually does that sound reasonable, Mr. DM?
that does actually sound reasonable, and Terry would be able to confirm it based on the activity that his informants are passing him. It's a bit disconnected because clearly no one actually knows as much as the dwarves might. They don't know magic as well as the dwarves do.
So they're
But
trying to use Urt by being all secretive about this because they know Urt's not bright enough to question it.
exactly,
Hey, they had all the right code words. Like gold and dig
and diggy hole.
and ale.
And beard.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this does mean that Zan now knows the code words, and he must be killed.
Zan rolls initiative against her.
Urt has tried. Urt has tried a lot. Like Urt just doesn't bother.
It's like, nah, I can't fight the bird.
Like I'll just take the 0, you take the 1.
Anywho, so they have indeed discovered some method of teleportation onto the mainlands, which is disquieting, but it also means that they might be somewhere nearby. At this point, there is some shouts from the people on watch. Apparently, there's someone approaching.
Ask them what the person looks like.
Urt immediately turns to Terry. What do your elf eyes see?
Terry, my elf eyes see you. Looks to one of the scouts. Can you get a description on the person approaching?
Dwarvish. They appear to be holding some sort of letter. They say that they've been assigned to deliver it somewhere around here, and they're complaining that the guy doing the payment is really fucking weird.
Zan stops Urt from immediately running to the dwarf.
Terry will go and talk to the dwarf.
This is discrimination, is what it is. You're discriminating against innocent Urts.
I like to imagine Zan is just carrying Urt in his talons. He's just hovering 10 feet off the ground, and Urt's like, let me down.
All right, where is this dwarf? Where can Terry and Toad go?
Terry and Toad scoot off over here.
All right.
And so
That's not a dwarf. No beard.
it appears to be one of the rare clean-shaven dwarves. Some actually do shave their dwarves because they work in professions.
Shave their dwarves.
That is exactly how it works, Zan. Do not
Remember-
correct him.
That is a Freudian slip if I've ever heard one.
Remember to peel your sheep.
Okay, that is pretty funny.
Oh boy.
Yes, shave their dwarves, shave their beards because they do work in intricate professions that require them to, not get their beards caught in things.
It's fine. I honestly prefer it when people shave their dwarves. Personally. It's more hygienic anyway.
You hear that, Urt? You got to shave your dwarf.
Urt rejects the entire concept of hygiene.
And it's more humane to those that have to live in the city.
God.
Urt opposes all humane acts as being innately human.
I hate you so much. Okay.
Incredibly valid.
The letter.
Okay.
Anyways, yes, Terry has approached this dwarf and, just says hello.
The dwarf says, hi, I'm assigned to deliver a letter to some sort of birdman, and I was told that I'm not actually going to get any gold for this if I don't deliver it to the birdman. I don't suppose you know where I could find a birdman in this particular camp?
Literally 50 feet in front of him and 10 feet in the air is me flapping with Urt in my talons.
Terry just going, I think I know exactly who that is and who that might be from. Terry will wave Zan down.
Zan drops and then flies to Terry.
The
dwarf
chicken is ashamed you did not choose to refer to it as the bird person and see what happened.
Oh boy. Okay, so the dwarf looks over to Zan and says, "I think this is for you, sir." And he kind of tentatively holds out the letter, very obviously wondering when this is all going to go ploin shaped.
Or just detect magic runes it.
Oh, like, does it seem like if I touch the letters, it's going to explode in fire or something?
No,
No,
he's wondering how or when he's gonna get paid.
or screwed.
Ert still detects magic's the letter. Holy
The
shit,
letter
that thing is magic.
Yes, indeed, it is magic. It seems to have some safety precaution on it that makes it so that if a dwarf touches it more than once, it will burst into flames. And also, if anything human or elvish touches it, it will burst into flames.
Toad.
I'd like to point out that this is incredibly detailed information to be gotten just by
Wait.
scanning a letter.
Toad.
If it's I was gonna say either Toad or we just bring in Zara because human, elf, and dwarf are the only ones not allowed to touch it.
Yes?
I mean, I could touch it, but Toad.
Oh, yeah.
How much elf is Toad by percentage at this point?
That's a good question that the letter does not account for.
I was gonna say probably none because Toad has yet to eat an elf.
Yeah. Toad's
Actually
eaten
true, yeah.
dragons and mummies and
Humans.
humans
And
on the list though.
yeah, but the human part is kind of like the base component of everything. So what percentage until
Yeah.
he's actually human?
So it's probably safe for Toad to hold on to then.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay.
I
Toad,
think
can
the
you
point-
open this letter and show it to me?
Toad,
Can Toad wait, can Toad tap it real quick with the OSHA spell?
Toad taps it. It is poorly made. It is shoddy. It is not up to code.
So the spells were done in haste.
Also, Ert just points out to the courier dwarf that, were you handling that with your bare hands?
The courier says, yes.
Wow.
He just kind of blinks down at his own hands and says, I feel like I should go take a shower.
Probably.
Realistically, just keep an eye for extra fingers. There was a lot of magic in that.
Oh, okay. Thank you, I think. And he just
Ert tries to give him the secret handshake.
He does not take the secret handshake. He raises his arms into the air and backs away and says, I'm going to go.
Oh, wait. This is the part where you're supposed to do the thing. Zan, do the thing.
What?
The thing. You do it to Arnold.
The thing I do to Arnold?
Terry looks over to
metal.
the dwarf real quick and asks, "Is just like, how much were you supposed to be paid?"
He says that he was supposed to be paid about 40 gold.
40 gold for a messenger boy? What?
Terry just goes, "Well, there was a rather hastily made failsafe on that letter that could have killed him at any moment."
The dwarf in question is just like, I have no idea what the hell is happening here. I don't really want to know. All I know is that whatever I was getting paid, it's probably not going to get worth it.
Hey, Terry
grabs a
goes,
rune of
"Don't
mold
worry,
earth.
here." And Terry just says, "Don't worry, here," and like hands over how much he was supposed to be paid. And it's like, now if you head back, you'll be paid double, but don't tell them.
Or just don't head back because we're going to kill them later.
True.
Zan just says that out loud. And
yes, Zan does say that out loud.
Then I should probably get paid before you kill him.
Terry going, "Well, I just paid you now, so you can either try and get paid double by running back to them, or you can cut your losses and head out."
Rolls a nat 20 to chuck a mold earth rune down this guy's collar, just like Zan tries to do with Arnold.
With the silver coins on Arnold.
Oh, God. Okay. So you chuck the mold earth rune on him. What are you expecting to happen?
He'll be like, sweet, mold earth rune. It's a tip.
He actually does accept it as a tip, although he is obviously extremely confused. It's
So
like,
he's been
Ert
paid,
just
and
turns to
now he got
Zan
a
and is
tip.
like, "Ha, I can do it too."
Zan just
Heh.
stares at Ert and just is incredibly confused, and then turns back to Toad and Terry and says, "Can we read that letter now?"
There's Cherry going, yeah. It just looks to the dwarf and just goes, well, you've been paid and apparently tipped. So, do what you will about payment from the other side. Just know that
Payment from the
something's coming.
other side.
Something's coming for them, and they're not gonna like it. Hmm.
Okay, thank you, I guess. And he just decides to scoot off before anything else confusing can happen. Ugh.
Okay, what's the letter
Oh,
say,
so what's
Toad?
the letter say? Check it for mail bombs, Toad, as Zan had you do.
Toad checks it for mail bombs. He does not find anything other than the fact that it will explode when in human, dwarvish, or elvish hands. So, not exactly safe, but safer than Toad was honestly expecting.
Hey, what's the letter say?
And the letter is
Yeah.
to Zan, and it says Zan, or actually, it does not say Zan. It says mercenary designation, and then it has a code that Zan vaguely remembers from working for the Empire.
Zan rolls his eyes at this and keeps reading.
Wait, is this whole thing just an official mercenary contract form?
Uh, Not a mercenary contract form so much as a mercenary do what I say because we pay your paychecks sort of thing. It, it appears to be written with the assumption that Zan does still work for the Empire and still wants something from the Empire. And it is telling Zan to bring the energized crystal, that being Katie, to a specific location nearby, and he will be paid generously by people from the Empire that he has worked with before.
Yeah, can I roll an insight check to see if I know who wrote this?
Go ahead. The
I'm
DC is 10.
Watch me roll lower than that. Insight. Oh, come on. There we go. 19.
Yeah, this is definitely the captain.
Okay, great. How far away is the location?
Not all that far, but it would be a bit of a stretch given your level of runic energy right now.
Okay, so we
Bert rolls history to remember who this guy was. Oh, your hand crystal guy.
yeah, that guy. Yeah, so I wanna kill the heck out of this guy. But he's a little far.
Harry going, we could use this. We could use this to our advantage. We could, depending on who he brings with him, we could practically topple the Empire.
I'm down
Ert's
for that.
like, why?
Harry looks down to Ert and just, you wouldn't understand.
Well, I mean, they're toppling themselves.
That's sort of valid, but the higher ups are getting away, and those are the ones that need to be toppled the most.
Well, they always do, but then a new, empire rises and allies with us, and things continue. Like Erd is just not understanding why you guys care about a revolution.
And for Terry at this point, that's okay because Ert is Ert. And if he met any other like mainland Vigan dwarf, he would absolutely hate what dwarves have become.
I mean, he has a few times.
Yeah, but he hasn't been to like a normal dwarven town or city
Stronghold.
yet. Strongholds.
Poor Ert. He's in for such a rude awakening.
Now he's just going to go into full denial.
just, nope, none of these dwarves are dwarves.
Nope, nope. COVID never happened.
God
It was
damn it,
all the
Shaggy.
humans putting the things in my bloods.
In my bloods.
God
Well, yeah, I
damn it,
got
Shaggy.
several of them.
So
Why are you like this? Oh my god.
Okay,
Terry now starts ignoring Ert and looks to Zan and says, so what we could do is use this to our advantage. If he actually teleports with, say, a bunch of his buddies and we kill them all, make sure that Katie's nearby, we could get a return on investment. If he brings in an army with him, considering how much he actually has requested, that is profit.
Or it's just like, wait, are we doing the thing where we murder people for souls?
We have to waste some souls in order to get more souls, but yes.
Why is it okay when you say it?
Mhm.
Yeah, Zan actually cocks his head at this and looks at Terry and says, "Yeah, that's a really valid point. Why is it okay when you say this?"
Very. Because right now we're talking about the Empire jackasses at the top of the chain.
Yeah, but I try to kill some bandits and you get all angry about it. I mean, they're the same thing,
You know,
really.
I like to think that there's Empire soldiers around hearing this.
Because unlike the ones who are running the Empire that we all want to see dead, everyone else had use.
Bandits are bandits. They should just be banditized. I don't know.
Okay, so it sounds like we're just gonna head off and kill a fucker.
That's the plan so far.
Cool. I need the Toidle, and I need Katie, and, how far are we going?
Are we putting Katie on the turtle, or is Tina still gonna stay in the harness on the turtle?
Tina's on the Toidle. Is Tina full?
Tina is not full. There has been a kind of dearth of magical energy for you guys. It's been really unfortunate.
Okay. Is gonna go he looks at Katie, he looks at Tina, he's like, "Okay, we're gonna fill." Yeah, the note said 27. Do we wanna bring 27 with us?
No, we just wanna we're not
But
giving them
they're
energy.
gonna open a teleporty dealy, and
Yeah,
then you're
we
gonna
don't
murder everyone.
The
why
only
we
way to get them here is to give them that energy to teleport here, so we can kill them all.
I thought well, we have to go there with the energy. We have to go there in order to
With the
give them the
energy,
energy.
yes.
Yeah, why do we need to bring the energy when we're already going there? I'm confused.
Because we're gonna open a portal,
Why are we opening a portal?
so we got more guys to kill.
We're letting them bring in more people, and we're just killing everyone that comes through the portal?
Look, it's the elf's idea. I'm not defending it.
Meanwhile, Toad is just like kind of blanked out, and he's just, Dad, are we murderers now?
What do you mean now?
Ian Lortek comes over, is like, "Are we planning regicide?"
Again?
Harry gets down on a knee, puts a little hand on Toad's safety helmet, and just goes, Toad, I am not a good person.
I mean, yeah, we all know that, Mr. Spy.
You know, just to add to the awkwardness of this situation, Bubbles suddenly pops up and starts announcing that they're having a people's revolution.
What?
Who is they?
Come, brother, the people, they are arisen against the tyranny of the old order to bring in a new lifetime of peace and prosperity and runic magic.
Bubbles, what are you on about?
There's a revolution in the Empire. She just told everyone.
How do you know this?
Bubbles, you told everyone.
Yeah, she subscribed to a blog.
Harry looks up to see what the soldiers are doing because the soldiers I'm sure already knew that they were on the run for their lives from the Empire, so this will be interesting to see the reaction.
The reaction of the soldiers being told that there is a revolution going on is basically one of, okay, but does that mean that we're going to live through this?
Bubbles just trying to go, no, no, the proletariat is rising up. We
Oh,
are
no.
seizing the means of production
Oh no.
peacefully.
Okay,
No.
Lennon.
And all the soldiers are just like, okay, so does that mean like extra turkey legs or something?
Zan just walks up to Bubbles and says, Bubbles, do you even know what a proletariat is?
Level 1 characters.
Fair enough.
Bubbles, do you even know what seizing the means of production means?
Bubbles points at Katie. And then at Ert. Because that's what you did. So,
Just we didn't
Oh my
seize the means of production. Ert was stationed with this troop.
look, let's just say you guys have a big runic energy factory that's building a road that baffles all future historians.
I mean, that is kind of what you guys are doing, yes.
So, the real question we were debating before all the sidetracking was whether it's worth bringing enough energy so the portal can be finished. Also, Terry can get murdery.
I'm fine with murdering the people that are there, but I feel like they're trying to teleport themselves somewhere else instead of bringing people to them.
Well, is that clear from the note
The note that
on the tablet?
sorry, on the tablet, yes.
The hack tablet, yeah.
The hack tablet says that the intention is to bring over a bunch of people from the Empire over into Vigas.
How many is a
And-
bunch?
And these people are the higher ups, right? The more high society guys.
Yes. And the number of people is roughly 1,000 based on the estimates that you see.
Hey, Terry, I know you have your little circle of death thing there. I don't know if that can deal with 1,000 people.
Wait, what's the radius
but
on
if
that?
It's
but if
like
you remember, it's
80?
1,000 aristocrats. Becca cannot pronounce things. Aristocrats. It
Which
is
means that
not
they are-
soldiers.
Means that they're inherently more disposable.
Erd is just sitting there, and he's trying to calculate how big the portal would be versus how big the circle of death would
60 foot radius, 100-foot range. So it's 120-foot diameter. That's still that would be like 500 people. It'd be like half of them.
Just cast it twice.
Well,
Just
you
a bunch
can't.
of
What our thing? It's a once a
stars.
day. I thought the thing that we had was a once a day thing,
Yeah, I believe we only have
probably.
one charge of this bad boy as a thing.
or
Yeah.
just one charge
But-
total.
But
Oh God, what now?
Erd is just sitting there going, you said this was at a dwarf place, right?
No.
Yes.
What? Okay.
Well, a dwarf delivered the message.
Yes.
Just drop the whole roof in. Gish.
But that would also kill a lot of dwarves.
No. It'll be all very organized, I'm sure.
And as much as Terry wants to see a bunch of people get murdered right now, Terry only wants to see the aristocrats get murdered, not the innocent lives of the people who live in this dwarven town.
Erd's like envisioning a portal in a big warehouse room that he has just finished completing, and a whole group of 1,000 guys comes out, and then the whole warehouse just collapses.
That actually, I'm down with that.
Okay, this needs to be a question to the DM. Are we allowed to dedicate our whole session to seeing if we can kill 1,000 people at once?
That is something that I will allow you to debate over, but there are some twists and turns yet in this story.
I mean, we don't. The bottom line is we don't have enough runic energy to supply 27, right? Didn't we say we only had 22?
Yes.
Okay.
In Katie, not in Tina, but in Katie. We don't know how much is in Tina.
How much is in Tina?
The runic energy that I have listed is for your entire regiment. So unfortunately, that is in both Katie and Tina.
So it's split between the two. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So Carrie's new idea then, because they're going to expect Zan to, if he shows up, to bring something. They are expecting him to show up due to the tone of the letter. If we don't have 27 runic energy, we could just bring in a fraction, which means only a fraction of the amount of aristocrats that they wanted to bring over are going to come over. Which
Magic
are
doesn't
going to
work
be
that
the ones
way.
which are going to be the ones the captain sees as more important or more influential. Thus, getting rid of them would actually be a lot more effective than just all 1,000 at a time, because it would be the most influential figureheads in the Empire coming over.
I'm down with that.
Quick question though, before we go any farther down this path.
Okay.
How many sessions has it been since we fought Wasty?
I think 2.
Well, we had a large period of time sitting in camp, right?
Yes, pretty much.
Is this when all the letters and stuff are going to start popping up? Is that what you're asking?
Guys, I found 5 runic energy.
I'm sorry, I don't follow.
See?
It sounds...
Murder the poopy.
Oh, God.
No. We are not going to give them all the runic energy. I actually like the idea of only giving them partial so that we get the cream of the crop over here.
Well, In that case, shall we grab Lunk Thunk?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, who are we going to bring with us?
And how much are we taking? Because we're not going to take 22.
Yeah,
Take like 5.
5.
Okay.
Bert's in
Then
favor
you'll-
of 22.
Then Tina is going to stay at the army in order to make sure that they don't, starve on a while you guys do a military jaunt. Because
Let's assign some orders as we leave here. It's like, okay, guys, go murder shit.
So the usuals are in charge, which is Kathleen and Ian Lortic.
Okay. Do you want to assign that CRT to do anything? You could pay them in order to, do some bounty hunting.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do some bounty hunting.
Get some bounty, some runic energy would be ideal.
Who
Who
should we consider bringing with us for this?
Well, not the entire army, but I wonder how many of our soldiers would be totally up for killing a bunch of aristocrats.
Well, the CRT would be down, but we want to send most of them out for runic energy gathering.
Yeah, it's like, who would be useful for planning some sort of big, magical plot thing?
Farron.
That's
I think
unironically.
Farron hates Erd at this point.
Farron and Kathleen, honestly.
I'm going to bring Waffle with me because I want Waffle with me.
Do you actually like Waffle, or do you just like the fact that you can boss Waffle around?
I'm bringing Waffle because I like Waffle.
Do we bring Lunk Thunk?
I think we should bring Lunk Thunk over Tina, because Tina's just a tank that people can hide in, really, but...
Well, if we're only bringing 5 soul energy, that's enough that Waffle could just carry a crystal.
I mean, it could be a Trojan turtle. It could be a Trojan turtle.
You just hide the whole army underneath the shell.
Yeah.
If we're gonna talk about bringing people who know magic, that'd be Farron and Kathleen. So Kathleen might have to come with us instead. That would leave Ian Lortic and Toad in charge.
Well,
oh shit.
Toad would run a tight ship.
There's plenty of sane people in camp, plus all those goblin guys up north for some reason. Where did we get the goblins in the north of camp?
It was last session.
Oh, yeah.
Becky wanted Pokemon, so we
they
got more
are hired.
Pokemon.
They are not Pokemon.
Becky wanted more Pokemon.
They are employees.
Becky wanted more
Toad is
Pokemon.
a Pokemon. The rest are employees.
So, like I said, Becky wanted more Pokemon.
Okay, so
look,
do we
you've
want to
got
just
your
bring
indentured
Waffle?
servant. Let me have my employees.
I got mine just because you have yours.
So, do we want to bring Waffle with a bit of crystal and leave Lunk Thunk here?
We could bring both. I think it'd be fine.
Okay, let's bring both then. Waffle and Lunk Thunk.
Okay.
Plus
and
us,
our
plus
only
Farron.
big AoE casters are... Does Kathleen have anything big in AoE, like Cube?
She has the Shenanigan Cube, which helps disable people.
She does have the upgraded version, because Terry actually learned that spell from Kathleen.
Cool. Let's bring Kathleen then.
Okay.
So that's a pretty big squad for our, we're going to go murder people. Okay. Let's just say, guys, remember, we have access to runic magic for any major spell if we plan for it.
So any notes that we need, let's pin them in the group Discord just so we remember who the hell we're bringing and what we're doing.
Okay. So Ian Lortic is in charge for the interim.
Are we keeping Toad for Toad spells? Or are we letting Toad stay back?
Does Toad have any useful stuff for this situation?
Let me check Toad's sheet, because Toad has a sheet. There we go. Looks like we've got Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Lots of building spells because of his OSHA focus. But he does have Eldritch Blast.
Let's bring him, but put him on top of Lunk Thunk. His job is to keep Katie safe.
You hear that, small mushroom child? It is your job to make sure that safety is observed.
Only you can prevent crystal shattering.
It's true.
Okay, let us mount up on our summonable chickens of hatred.
And we'll just fly. Because those chickens only last for, 2 hours?
Which gives, enough time to pluck some feathers and, make more chickens. And then pluck some feathers and make more chickens.
It's an endless chicken treadmill.
With enough magical energy, you could bury the world in chickens.
You
That
can
is
also bury it in something much more pleasant.
Yeah. Like marshmallow fluff.
I agree. That would be a lot more pleasant than
I
chickens.
feel like that'd be a lot more nightmarish.
Yeah, well, you live in an area where stuff rots. So, numbers, anything more you need from us?
Oh yeah,
let's-
as expand.
Oh my
No,
god.
as in, I live at 7,700 feet. You can leave sugary food outside and it just desiccates instead of rotting.
I mean, I'm just thinking of all the chicken crap that'll be everywhere if you cover the world with chickens. There'll be so much poop just everywhere.
Oh, God.
Okay. So, let's see. Last things that I need to actually check with you guys. All right. So, you guys are going to be leaving the army at its current location while you head off in order to do the murders.
Yep. The CRT is instructed, is paid to go and hunt soul energy.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Are
the
there
army is also, of course, the obvious instructions of defend the camp.
which they are inclined to do? Yes.
And Ert has instructed them to charge anyone who wants to use the bridge. He didn't say what to charge them. He put Bubbles in charge of that, actually.
So they just literally charge them, you run at them with weapons out every time somebody tries to use the bridge.
Bubbles thinks that's too violent.
Fair.
So instead, she's asking for donations for the People's Empyrean Front.
Oh God.
The People's
right.
Front of the Empire? What are we called again? Enikos?
Yes, the Empire of Enikos.
The Enikosian People's Front.
Oh no.
I hate this so much. Why are you like this?
Like, no, do none of you know that, we have blogs in the Empire? You have these tablets that talk to each other.
Shaggy, why are you like this?
Because we're not on the next map yet. Andale, andale.
Okay, so I'm going to have a quick scenario shortly before you guys get to the meeting point with the captain, because there are some people in the local area who are very confused about what's happening. And the bridge that I was thinking about for this was co-opted into Ertz Bridge. So we're just meeting them on there for just a moment.
Well, yeah, the camp is still at the other end of it.
Oh boy. All right, so in just a moment, I will go ahead and grab your tokens.
Do we need the big guys for this one?
Yeah, we will not need the big guys for this one. This is just roleplay. But I will go ahead.
Fellow
and
dwarves.
Countrymen.
The dwarf is just like the dwarf immediately backs away, raising his hand and just do not touch me.
That's actually how the handshake starts.
Oh no.
The dwarf is just raising his hand and just like, are you from out of the area?
I'm from the Empire.
Of course you are. Oh boy.
Like my bridge.
The dwarf rubs his forehead as though he has a pounding headache and says, yes, your bridge is absolutely wonderful. I don't suppose you could tell us a couple of things about the Empire?
So Ert's like, well, it's like this. You know how you guys don't have magic, but you have cool spells?
Yes.
We have magic, but with shit spells. So we invaded you for your cool spells, and now we got magic and cool spells. And anyway, there's a pretty bloody revolution happening right now, so you probably don't have to worry about those fuckers anymore.
Okay, so you're from this Empire thing, right?
Well, I'm from there. I'm a dwarf.
Do you happen to know anything about and he kind of gestures up and down humans that appear out of nowhere and start making a bunch of demands and saying that they're diplomatic envoys.
Diplomatic what nows?
Harry's gonna walk up at this point, going, "Yes, we've heard of it. Just recently, and we're on our way to deal with it."
Wait, is that the guy we're gonna kill?
Uh,
Harry looks to the dwarves for their reaction at that question.
they do not seem either surprised or alarmed. They seem to think, yeah, sounds about right.
Mhm.
Yeah, you see, we're these guys, right? We're looking for assholes. We're patrolling for them. You know what I mean?
Oh, the dwarves immediately seem to respond well to this. Then, yeah, we got an asshole. He's basically camping out next to our property. Has a weird rune that he used to shift around a whole bunch of landscape and stuff. Really inconvenient. If you could like remove him either by killing him or whatever else, and that would be fantastic.
Bert loves this aspect of Vigan culture.
And just Harry just going, "Sure, of course. Well, we can handle that."
It's like, cool. You guys mount up on the crystal. Here's your rune to firebolt. Let's roll.
Hey,
Harry looks to the dwarves and goes, "You do not have to be included if you do not want to."
they would appreciate if they were not included, actually. See, they've had a couple of dealings with the Empire, and they've had some bad experiences. There was one dwarf that tried to do the secret handshake, and that dwarf was insane.
Did you catch his name?
Oh, the name?
Yeah,
Uh,
did you
they,
catch his name?
they say that the dwarf's name was Burist.
Guy's an asshole. Let's roll.
Well, yeah, but apparently he said that he was going to do something about the local monster problem and then disappeared in a ball of fire.
Ta! Classic Burist.
Well, yeah, but now that the mountain that was right next to theirs is just gone.
Ert just looks and is like, how much magic energy was that?
Ert, you may go ahead and roll me an Arcana if you wish.
Wait, okay. 19, so decent.
Okay, so the dwarves look to Ert and say, yeah, that was kind of a bad situation for a lot of us. We have no idea what happened or why. And Ert would be able to pick up that this is the sign of a dwarf who has basically gone mad with power. Decided that there is no point in actually reasonably using moderate amounts of magical energy.
Okay, no. Ert's just rolling to see how much magic energy was used there with that explosion.
More than you could fit into Tina, but not more than you could fit into Katie.
Okay, Ert is just salty about the giant waste.
I know, right?
Like, no one lets him spend 100 runic energies just to blow shit up.
Correct.
And that's because that is an awful waste of magic.
Okay, well, Ert informs these people that this bridge is a 1/8 scale model recreation of the bridge of Kazakh Lake Crossing.
The dwarves blink. Wait, Kazakh? They like confer with each other for a moment and say, do you know where the hell Kazakh is? Is that part of the things that you've been taught?
Ert just stares back, is like, no, Kazakh is just the signifier that's saying, like city. You guys don't know Dwarvish at all. We're leaving.
The dwarves look a little bit grumpy at this and they say, listen.
Basically, Ert has recreated a bridge from Dwarven children's stories. And it's very salty that these guys don't understand how fucking cool that is.
They seem to understand something or other. And they are trying to tell you that apparently Kazakh is a word that was very common in some sort of lost dwarvish clan.
No, it's a nation in Europe. Let's roll.
Actually in Asia, but
Yeah, you're right.
Your geography sucks. And it's not Kazakh, it's Kazakhstan. Stan means land.
Yeah, the land
Stan.
of the Kazakhs.
Land of the Kazakhs.
And their great plutonium production.
Huzzah.
Wait, no, it's potassium.
I hate all of you. Okay.
Okay, so we just roll by these confused dwarves, very clear that we are on a murder spree.
Yeah, and they do not seem upset about this.
Yeah, they're just guiding back.
Terry's gonna pause for a minute and ask them real quick though about that whole secret, that whole lost family or whatever.
They're willing to tell the story if you're actually interested.
Terry is.
They say that there are some old dwarven legends about a gang of dwarves that let themselves basically be, conscripted into a giant experiment of some kind. They're not sure why, but apparently they flew away on some sort of ancient airship and were never heard from again.
Or just looks at them. Well, then a fairy crashed us because fairies are dicks. And
They,
then the wizards said that they were in charge, so we murdered their asses.
and the dwarves look to each other and say, that actually does fit what little we know about that dwarven clan.
Yep, that's why
Well,
my name is Boat Murderer.
Terry just kind of pauses, looks to Ert, looks to the dwarves, and just Ert, I think that's your story. You were on there.
The one that who now? Now that was my great 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 grandfather.
Terry looks to the dwarves.
The dwarves say, considering the amount of time that passed between then and now, it could have been your great 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 grandfather. We just kept up the vigil for that particular clan as like sort of a cautionary tale. We didn't think it was real.
Well, like you said, cautionary tale, moralless tale, face suck.
I mean, yeah, we knew that.
This is starting to get awkward for Ert. It's like, why are we talking about this?
Terry looks to the dwarves and goes, "So, my friend here, being a direct descendant of the family of this children's story, just this explains a lot about him. Like, you don't understand. It explains a lot."
The dwarves actually ask if Terry and maybe Ert could convene with their scholars to actually get an accurate record of the situation, because a lot of people are curious about this sort of thing.
Zan taps their shoulders and says, "This would be great after we deal with the immediate pressing problem."
The murder.
Terry just like going, "Yes. But also, thank you for both of you, because this is the most I've ever gotten out of learning a bit more about Ert and how he works."
He runs on crystal energy. I thought we knew that already.
I have absolutely zero crystal energy in my body at present.
At present, he says.
Look, Ert is just saying this because he feels it's significant. You should
Terry,
definitely read into it.
That's not what I meant.
How do I flip a character horizontally?
You don't.
But we're going right to left. Okay, onwards.
But yeah,
Ert is tired of these chumps.
Terry just like Terry gets their names super quick on his clipboard and just like, "I'll get in touch." Mm.
Thank you.
Like, you're just gonna get a hook for a random dwarf historian out of this.
No,
Yes.
no hooks right now. This is just a holy crap, I know more about Earth's backstory.
One day you will know the deep and wonderful mysteries of Ert. Today is not that
Uh,
day.
I Ert does not realize there's a mystery, aside from why we're not going.
Well, we're going now.
Well, let us transition over to the familiar map. So, we
We've been
who
here before, we're back in the desert.
okay, and since the people who are arriving here were not quite who I prepared for, go
So
ahead.
the plan here, I was hoping, would just be Zan and the sword and the energy, while
Mhm.
everyone else kind of hid off to the side.
Let's just assume they can't see over that black ledge.
Yes. So you guys will actually have some opportunity to prepare and whatnot.
They're just like, "What is that crystal? Where's Waffle? Go get Waffle. We're not continuing until Waffle."
God dang it! I knew I was forgetting something.
Waffle is very important to my mental health and well-being.
Everyone has to bring their, Pokemon. I got the Lung Thunk. Terry's got the Toad. Sam's got the Waffle.
There. You now have a
Oh
wobble.
god, he just broke stealth.
It's like a perfect little frame up there.
Aw, let's center really close and take a picture.
Zan will stand out in front looking cool with his sunglasses.
Of course.
About to drop the next hottest hit in Vigas.
My bird rap.
You're the raptor.
Take a screenshot, make it black and white, and
No.
slap that adult
I'm the
advisory.
raptor. Here, we have to make this uniform. Hang on. There. Beautiful.
There we go. You just take that picture and just black and white filter that adult advisory sticker you see on a bunch of different music like CD albums.
Adult advisory, too cool for you.
The bird is the word.
Bird's the word, a bird.
Okay, so like, is this the thing where you go forward and call his mom a, I don't know, pheasant?
No, the idea
Call her
at
a
least
cuckoo.
out of character, so not Terry talking. I thought the idea I was having was Zan would go up like as if it was just the normal job, and be like, "Hey, I could only get you 5 because they used up so much energy. Blah blah blah. Here you go." They do their little ritual, like going, "Oh well, anyways, I guess this is gonna have to do."
Or just
And
pokes Terry. Or he'll just kill both of his minions.
I said this was out of character.
Like, okay, my standpoint is, I am definitely envisioning this guy going, "Oh, we need more soul energy? Cool." And just offing someone in the immediate vicinity.
So that means we need to put a failsafe on Zan.
I'm a walking failsafe.
Do I know who now?
Like, if they try to kill Zan because it's like, "Oh, you couldn't get us enough," that's okay. Your soul will do too.
Oh,
Then,
don't worry. Vortex warp.
well, a bardic inspiration doesn't help. Doesn't hurt at all.
Okay,
So,
so Terry's just giving everyone a pep talk. Everyone's got bardic inspiration, right?
You can only
definitely
do. So
the
did we
main
decide?
3.
Okay.
The main 3 get it. Let's see. What else can I give you? I can give you protect from weird shit.
Ooh,
What? Is that a spell?
Ert is just
Yeah.
trying to touch Zan and he can't.
That is actually a reflavoring of protection from good and evil. I reflavor it as protection from weird shit because it mostly defends you against outsiders and other weird shit.
Because we don't, also, the Vigas world doesn't use alignment charts.
Exactly.
But then how do they make memes?
That's simple. I'm making fun of Ert.
Here, let me see if I can post the spell info. Boop. That worked!
Instrument.
Yeah, it comes from his lyre. Lyre? Lute? I think it's a lute. Yes, lute.
Loot.
It's a loot.
It's a
It's
loot of
As
looting.
opposed to liar.
It's genuinely a loot of looting.
As opposed to liar of lying.
I hate all of you. I wish you to know this.
I thought that's what it actually was
It's not
called, though.
It's not a loot of looting.
I thought it was. I genuinely
It's just
thought it
loot.
was.
Hold
Okay.
on. It's in my inventory. It is. It's not actually anything. Oh, Instrument of the Bards. That's what it is. It's called the Instrument of the Bards.
Yeah, you call it that. We call it the loot. Anyway,
Anywho.
go get him, Zan. Tell him
I
he's
feel like that will help you.
So let's go ahead and say cast.
while Zan gets out there.
Sorry,
I didn't catch that. What was that?
Sorry, I had to put Totem Lunk Thunk.
But
Thank
yeah, so the idea is you get that spell plus a bardic inspiration,
No,
keep
sorry,
yourself
I
safe.
didn't catch what Shaggy had said. I got that back though.
Okay, so Zan, tell me, how is your entrance going to be?
Zan just struts up, his wings extended. He's got a little bit of a strut going on.
Casting silent images.
No, because I don't have a rune of silent image. I'm wearing the shades and we're in a dark room, it looks like, so
So
tries really hard not to trip as he walks forward.
Oh boy.
You can tell it, but I'm making an athletic check with every movement.
Fucking hell. Okay, so Zan, you start marching up, and the captain, in person, looks up to you and says, "Ah, good. You're right about on time." He looks over to the other two, gives them a nod, and says, "Ah, Zan, now that you are here, we can finally conclude all this nonsense and we can finally be rid of each other forever." And he says this with genuine feeling. You get the impression that he has had a long, long couple of days.
Zan just says, I cannot wait.
He gives a nod and says, "Then let us have a brief discussion of what the terms are. I trust that you did bring the crystal just out of sight somewhere, presumably to guard your interests.
Correct.
Then here is the deal. We will offer you." He pauses for a moment, scoots over to one of his comrades. Mutter, 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 mutter.
Zan tries to hear what they have to say. Can I roll a perception check?
Please do.
Okay. 21.
They seem to be having a discussion about the currency of the mainlands and whether or not it has the same exchange rate as the stuff from the Empire. And the captain seems to think that, well, if it's not from the Empire, the value isn't really all that important. They can afford to take a little bit of a loss right now. Then the captain steps up and says, "Zan, we are engaging your services in order to get this magic runic energy and be rid of each other once and for all. The offer that we make is for," and he checks a little slip of paper in his hands, 1,000,000 gold pieces.
And
Ooh.
where do you have this gold?
It was pretty much our first order of operations once we arrived, to exchange some of the currency from the island into currency from the mainlands, and the exchange rate that we got seemed favorable at the time. We have a Covert Kobold bank account. Zan, you have in fact heard of Covert Kobold. They are sort of the equivalent of an offshore slush fund in Vigas.
So they got Nigerian princed or what?
No, it is like, the place that a whole bunch of wealthy people hide their money in order to prevent it from being
Yeah.
taxed.
Wait, so
Okay.
kobolds
Yes,
are bad?
Covert Kobold.
Oh my gosh, they're
Don't
great.
kobolds work for dragons?
Yes, they do. Or at least
Okay.
some
Shouldn't it
of
be
them do.
something like Onyxia, Nefarion, and Malagos Incorporated?
Pretty much, yes.
Oh no.
And so the captain says, "And this slush fund is holding a large amount of currency that we are willing to render into your care. You cannot do this if we are dead, and once you have completed the service, the payment will be rendered. We even have some." He looks over to the lieutenant. Lieutenant steps up, has a quick muttered conference with them. "Can we really use that under these circumstances?" "Yes, of course we can. It's not like we're going to be saving any of these resources for any particular purpose. We might as well just bribe him with and be done with it." And then the captain says, "We have a particular spell that we have been made aware of, a sort of Gias spell that holds both of us to the terms of the agreement, so that you no longer have to worry about any of this nonsense about betrayals and whatnot. You were so tediously upset about it before, but this time we should be able to sidestep that little issue."
Uh-huh. So how do I end up collecting this money after we're done here?
"Well, the Covert Kobold representative is not all that far away. We could have it done within about 3 hours of completing the mission here.
And what's required to do that?
It would require me to go over there and give a passphrase to a particularly observant, I believe, Kobold representative, whatever kobolds actually are. They have assured me that it is quite foolproof, and they are very hardened against transaction fraud."
I want to imagine that every time he says covert kobold, a little tiny kobold image springs up and starts singing the theme song from their ads.
Bank with us if you want to protect your gold."
And that's staying in. All right.
Nobody fucks with the dragon.
Oh boy.
Zan fucks with the dragon.
You protect your gold like a dragon hoard.
Exactly. Protect your gold like a dragon horde.
Nobody fucks with an elder dragon.
God. All right, so the captain says, so this is the offer, and we have the Gios scroll. He seems disdainful of the word, and he points over to the major. The major holds up the scroll. If we can assign these terms at the moment, then we can move on with the rest of this tedious little adventure and finally be rid of each other once and for all. I am finally getting sick of all you mercenaries.
Okay,
Do you-
so quick question: Are Terry and
first.
Ert listening?
I will leave that up to Terry and Ert.
Terry, are you listening? Ert doesn't get a choice in this.
Harry's been listening. He's more curious about how Zan's gonna handle this.
Okay,
I mean,
Ert just
Zan,
look. Can Ert ask Terry? Is $1 million a lot?
Terry just like looks at Ert and goes, "Yes, yes. $1 million is a lot."
the
Like
DM,
how many
Zan,
turkey legs?
how many
Harry just
turkey legs?
not imagine 1 million souls for magic energy.
Ert just nods. Is like 1 to 1. Wow.
Okay,
Every
now
soul is
Zan.
worth 1 gold.
Like Ert is at this point writing in his journal to Frestiva about this. This is a major revelation.
Zan is trying to figure out, one, is this contract legit? Like, has he heard of it before? Is it a legit thing? 2, is there any way to get, like, what happens if the captain dies before Zan gets the gold?
Okay, so Zan, first is going to be a history check, which I will give you advantage for.
History. I don't have a high history. In fact, my history is +0, but I got a 15. Haha.
Yeah, but
Okay.
does the nat 1 override it?
No, because
No,
it's advantage.
you dick.
So, with that particular history check, this is actually something that the Vigans have used multiple times in the past in order to ensure fair and non-screwy contracts. So the fact that the captain is willing to use this is actually a sign that he is taking this situation far more seriously than he has before.
Okay.
And
Which
as
god
for,
enforces these?
no god enforces them. It's dragons. The dragons are worse.
Okay, so it's enforced by dragons. What happens if the captain dies? What happens to his bank account?
If the captain dies, then his bank account is either given to his next of kin, or it is going to be given to his associates in his organization that might have joint control. However, that joint control needs to be something specified beforehand.
For the record, I feel like the better response their numbers would have been, it is held in trust as part of the horde.
Yes, that is the default if there is no one to forfeit it to.
It's being
So,
held in trust
exactly.
until someone convinces me otherwise.
Zan is really conflicted because he wants to take this 1 million from the captain, but he also wants to murder the captain. So Zan is very conflicted.
Like what is 1 million split between the CRT?
That's a lot.
It's a lot, a lot.
That's a lot.
It's more than you've ever had in your entire life. It is the buy an island and retire money.
Yeah, and
My Terry's Island.
Fuck you, Shoggy.
can I roll an insight to see if I'm being screwed with in any way, shape, or form?
Please do.
Please tell me you realize you can haggle upwards.
I got a natural 1 for 9.
Okay, Zan.
My eyes are money signs at
You
the
just
moment.
hear $1 million and it just echoes.
Your eyes glaze over at the amount that has been presented to you.
Oh no.
And given what you have heard from him before, you have no reason to believe that he is holding anything back.
Oh no. And I can't communicate with the others right now. Oh no.
You got to maintain operational security.
Oh no.
I mean, no, you can legitimately call either Terry or Erd up, and the captain would be like, okay, cool, you're bringing another guy here.
No. Terry kind of annoyed the fuck out of the captain to get that
Yeah.
clipboard.
and then is not exactly no offense,
Trustworthy.
but
Look,
yeah.
look. All I'm saying is the captain would obviously rather deal with Earth.
So what's the next step here, Mr. Captain?
The captain says the next step is you bringing up that magical energy that you were assigned to bring. Once it is here, then your entire job is to make sure that this goes off without interference from outside forces, and then we will be done.
Wait, the letter told me to bring the crystal. Yes.
Yes.
It didn't specify how much energy was supposed to be in the crystal. Just FYI, it's low as fuck. Second, you told me to just bring the crystal here. You did not tell me to guard you or to help you do anything afterwards. The letter just said, bring the crystal here.
This is the negotiation phase. He sighs, rubs his head a little bit, and says, if there is not a great deal of energy in the crystal, then we will have to use some sort of lower function of this teleportation spell in order to bring forth enough magical energy to bridge the gap. It will require some adjustment, but it can be done. We're going to lose a lot of men on this.
Um, Terry's been listening in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would hope so.
Zan kind of like taps his earring of message a couple times, to kind of like ask Terry what Terry's opinion is of the current situation. He doesn't say anything, obviously. He just taps his earring a
We
few
get a
times.
little bit of like that mic feedback.
Uh-huh.
Could I roll for this?
What are you rolling?
I don't know, like an insight or something?
I will allow Terry to roll me an insight, or I may have Terry roll me a history.
Mm.
Because right now Zan is sweating heavily over the thought of 1 million gold, which is really strange because he's a bird and doesn't have sweat glands.
I know, right?
Let's start with a history.
Okay.
16.
Okay, so Terry, the captain does actually seem to be serious about this particular deal, and Terry would be able to tell that the captain is, at the end of his rope, trying desperately to bring across the people that he feels would be valuable for the Empire. However, there are things that might be out of his control. For example, he's getting a teleport spell. This does not seem like a place that he'd want to teleport to. How did he end up here?
Okay.
Now I will have Terry go ahead and roll me an insight.
I rolled a 22.
Terry, isn't it a little convenient that the captain and all of his cronies arrived here at a dwarven mine, basically? Like, you're not very far away from it at all. They're basically squatting next to it and just, carving out a ritual spot. There smells like some dwarf fuckery here. This might not go as the captain thinks it will.
Hmm. So it sounds like the dwarves are kind of trying to fuck them over.
Not
Specifically, the crystal ones.
How is this a surprise? We just told you we armed the populace so they could have a revolution,
Mhm.
so we could harvest their
So
soul energy.
Terry's going to, relay to Zan that proceed with caution on this because it feels like the dwarves are setting the captain up for failure in a very spectacular and hazardous way.
Interesting. Okay.
Like, where did you get this circle?
So, where did you get this circle?
the captain rubs his face and says, "This circle is a teleportation magic
Yeah,
designed
no
by
shit.
dwarvish runesmiths. If I can." He sighs, rubs at his face some more. The dwarves have apparently decided that we are not worth cultivating a good relationship with, which is frustrating.
Agreeable.
However, we are working best with what we have, and unfortunately, what we have is their teleportation technology. We're trying our best to reverse engineer some good ways of using it in order to evacuate critical people from the Empire. But there are always going to be compromises, and apparently one of the compromises is not going to the exact place that we thought they would go.
So where are they going to?
At present, here, which we were promised was a hotbed of political activity, and we found a dwarven mine with a bunch of people who absolutely hated the dwarves. So at least that's sensible.
Huh.
Is
Well,
no one going to mention the Earth Elementals?
are those what those are? I guess they
Yes,
are,
those
huh?
are earth elementals.
And they're just hanging out?
They're just hanging out. They seem to be standing at some sort of attention in a vaguely empire-ish way.
Where'd you get these chuckle fucks?
The captain sighs and says, "These are from some sort of summoning rune that the dwarves gave to us while they were still cooperating. They appear to actually work, and they appear to be loyal."
That sounds sketchy as heck.
Zan, ask him why the dwarves told him to fuck off.
Why'd the dwarves tell you to F off?
The dwarves told us to, as you put it, F off, because they were tired of having a lot of interesting political things happening in their backyard. Apparently, there was a dwarf here who was scouting the local area, searching for, I don't know, the dwarf king. But apparently, because the dwarves are either incompetent or idiotic, they just assumed that any dwarven settlement was hiding the dwarf king.
It sounds a lot like Urt. Zan doesn't say that. Zach says that.
Okay.
Is
And s-
this Urt? Are they talking about Urt?
They are not talking about Urt.
Okay.
There are a lot of dwarves who suffer from the same misapprehension. Out of character, Urt is one of the most moderate dwarves.
Wonderful.
I say well adjusted.
Fair enough.
Okay,
Oh.
so the point of all this is, what you gonna do, Zan?
It's up to you, bud.
I mean, I was recommended to proceed with caution by Mastermind Terry. So I will call up Lunk Thunk with the crystal strapped to his back.
All right.
Hey,
Go ahead.
before we move on, it is 9:00.
Indeed.
Okay, shall we do a 20-minute break for everyone to bio and then resolve all this?
Certainly. And we're back from our wonderful break. Definitely nothing is different. Nothing at all. There is no cause for alarm. Everything is fine. So,
Do
last we
not
left
attempt
off.
to adjust your television.
Zan casts Circle of Death.
Zan.
Huh? What?
1 million.
1 million gold, Zan.
1 million?
Zan takes the head of the captain with him to the bank to withdraw. No.
You said it was rectal, right? Oh, rectal. Shit.
Zan goes back and returns with the anus.
Oh,
God
renal.
Sorry.
Shit. Where's that kidney?
You
So,
fuckers.
what are we thinking?
All right.
Okay, back to seriousness. What's the scene?
So, back to actual seriousness. The scene is Zan standing before the captain as the captain explains his, little arrangement where Zan is going to help him get at least part of the portal working, despite the fact that the dwarves are seemingly incompetent. And then he will allow some citizens of the Empire to come across, and then the captain will pay Zan 1 million gold, and then they will fuck off and never talk to each other ever again.
Okay, let's, make that a little more direct. What is his offer to Zan? Straightforward.
His offer to Zan, straightforward, is if you help me get this portal set up and help my comrades come through the portal, at least a few of them, I will pay you 1 million gold.
Zan gets that in writing on the contract immediately.
It
The
is
cap-
literally being written out by the lieutenant on a contract.
Yes.
I need it. So the things I need to do to get paid. I could show this to the kobolds. Things I need to do to get paid. Help him set up the portal. Help him get some people through the portal. That's it.
That is correct.
Okay. Zan signs that
The captain
contract.
holds up a finger and says, "And you must also swear that you will not act aggressively towards me or my people once the portal is opened.
I'm always acting aggressive towards you, you fuckwit.
Then let us say that you will not cause any physical or bodily harm.
Ooh. To yourself and any who exit the portal. What if you attack me?
I will also specify that I will not cause you any bodily harm. Or
So
mental harm, or whatever.
it's between me and you? No harm between me and you?
He squints and says, and you may have no one attack me on your behalf.
Oh, Terry ain't doing it on Zan's behalf.
Like, I'm doing this for me.
Yeah, so no. So the person I'm not hurting is you. So okay. I'm asking DM. The captain specified Zan doesn't attack the captain doesn't attack Zan, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Zan signs the contract.
Well, he also said anybody that like came, like his allies as well.
Well, I can't induce people to attack the captain on my behalf, but I don't have to do that because I have plenty of people that will attack them on their own behalf.
Hi, Terry.
Hey, now say that like Batman. I don't have to save you.
I don't have to not attack you. I have plenty of people that'll attack you without doing it for my sake.
So wait, so it's he can't attack it. Zan himself can't go for anyone that comes through the portal.
What I was just told by the DM was I can't attack the captain, and the captain can't attack me. That's what the DM just confirmed when I signed the contract.
You cannot attack the captain or anyone who comes to the portal, or the lieutenant and the major. You may also not have.
Let's say the contract is like, entity CRT, entity Empire.
Yes.
Okay, entity CRT. Okay. The Circle of Death will handle it. It's fine.
It's like Zan's like, who's not Empire? Earth Elementals. I'm gonna punch the shit out of them.
And you know who's not CRT? Terry.
My CRT.
You're not CRT either.
Waffle's like, am I CRT?
Nope.
I technically know he is.
He's not. No, he's not. He's not
I
CRT.
thought I was one of you.
Oh, you're one of the army, and you're my
indentured servant.
Pokemon. But you're not a member of the CRT. You're a
Numbers. I feel like that has to have an effect on Waffles.
I didn't say this directly to him. I'm in a meeting with the captain.
Like Waffles. Waffles is the CRT Junior.
He's the mascot.
Oh boy! All right,
Waffles is like, I'm an accessory.
A murderer.
Yes.
Oh god. Okay, you giant dingles. So the captain looks over the contract and says, "You will abide by the rules that have been set out here."
Okay, put your feather print on it.
Zan goes ahead and signs it with the express intention of letting Terry Circle of Death them later.
The captain gives a reluctant nod. The lieutenant witnesses the signature and then holds up the scroll and says, "We will now cast the Gias so that both of you will be beholden to the contract." Does Zan resist in any way?
No. Is it a real Gias?
It is a real Gias.
Then no.
Okay.
Like I said, Zan is totally planning on Terry doing the murdering in this situation.
Okay.
Now, quick question. What does the captain think?
We don't know.
About what?
Like, Zan is just rocked up and like, okay.
$1 million gold, man.
Deal.
$1 million gold is what the captain is thinking is just mercenaries.
No, the captain's like, is $1 million a lot?
I mean, I feel like a lot of people would figure out that $1 million of literally anything is a lot. Even 1 million pennies is a lot.
It's just like half a ton.
Well, meanwhile, the captain is just figuring that he's going to get through this. He's going to do the effort, and he's going to revive the Empire in due course. And he looks over the contract one final time, and he gives a nod and says, "Cast the Gias on both of us." The lieutenant uses the scroll and does so. Zan, it is probably not in your best interest to resist.
Mm-hmm.
Do you resist?
No.
We already covered this.
Yeah, but this is the second time you've asked.
I just wanted to be sure. So, then, the Gios is in place, the lieutenant steps back, and the captain claps his hand and says, I am very glad that we could actually be admissible about this. The previous experiences with the CRT have not been positive.
That's because you're a fuckwit.
He shrugs and says, You are inclined to have your opinion of me. I am not going to object. I do not see any benefit that can be gained from having that sort of argument. In any case, we are now dedicated to this, which means that we will cause this portal to open to at least some degree and get some of my people out, preferably with a power source. I know that I am not going to convince you to do anything beyond the boundaries of the Gios, mercenaries being what they are. However, I will say that that is my personal objective, and if that helps you do your job, then so be it.
Okay, if that helps you do your job, so be it, is a great phrase.
So, he
You could have
flexes
that
his...
on a shirt, Zan. You could
I don't
wear
make
it to your conferences with the admin.
I don't make merchandise. No, wait, that's not true. I'm a glass blower. Never mind.
Whee! Okay, what now?
So, now, the captain says, bring forward your crystal and whatever magic energies you have available. If you have any input on how to make this go more smoothly, then I would ask you to present
Does he
it.
mention Ert?
He does not.
Really?
Me? I do not.
No, does the captain?
Oh.
The captain looks considering for a moment, and he says, Zan, I wish for your honest opinion on this. Do you think that it would be valuable to have assistance to make this work? He gestures down to the symbol etched into the floor. Zan, you will have to answer this honestly.
Have assistance to make that work. Zan doesn't know jack about arcane. He's not arcane.
But does he
all.
think Ert is arcane?
Yeah, but does he think that Ert will be a benefit to helping this go anyway positively? I don't know.
I mean, think of it this way. It's like, if I brought Ert here, he'd just fucking help them make this shit. The fucking idiot.
That is an Ertism.
I mean,
So
Zan
answer his question.
Yeah, Zan will say, I don't know the last thing about, or the first thing. I don't know anything about frickin' teleportation. So, sure.
He rubs his face and says, Of course. All right.
Do I look like an arcane caster to you?
Like, does he ask Zan anything else about Ert? Is he not paranoid at all? Does he think Ert will just rock up and help him just because it's a cool project?
I mean, that would be a serious consideration. However, Ert did not respond to his previous message. Left him on red.
Oh, my fault, dude.
It would be one of those things where it's like I could find someone, which would give Zan time to, hop behind into the hiding area and talk to Terry and Ert about what to do next.
This whole time, Terry can be telling Zan what Terry thinks should happen.
Yeah.
Terry
is fully one-on-one with this.
Would
Terry is the what's-his-face to Zan's Solid Snake.
Would Terry actually know if it would be a good idea to get Ert involved in this?
That is a good question.
Does Terry want more enemies or less enemies?
See, Terry doesn't know now, after everything we've heard, if who's coming through is actually going to be, 100% enemy.
Like, first of all, let's just assume that the people... Oh, good question. Numbers, who do we think is coming through? Empire people or dwarfs?
That is going to be up to Zan and Terry. I will have you roll insight.
Okay. I don't know why Zan's rolling on this. Zan doesn't know anything about this.
I rolled a 6, but
I
you
rolled
rolled a 24.
Okay, so Zan, if you had to guess, based on what you've experienced of the dwarves and based on the fact that this is dwarven magic that they are using, there is a high chance that they are not going to connect to who they think they're connecting to.
I mean, you said I have to tell the truth here, right? Like because of the contract. So
Yes.
Zan will just corroborate all of this out loud.
The captain looks down at the circle, rubs his face, gives another sigh. God damn it, can't anything be simple? Very well, then we're probably going to need some amount of expertise on this. Do you know the location of Urt?
Urt!
Just yell down the slope to him. Does Urt come?
Urt just runs face first into the shit. He's like, hey, I'm here.
And the captain
Holy
says,
shit, I've been here before. Deja vu.
the captain just blink, decides that this is not worth his time.
Last time I was here, there was a mummy. Bird punched the shit out of him.
I'm sure.
You asked for him.
So what? Why am I here?
We are looking for a technical expert in certain matters. We are trying to connect this device, and he gestures down to the rune inscribed on the floor here, and make a teleportation gateway. Either one that will work in perpetuity or one that will work for a short amount of time to a location in the Empire to allow Imperial citizens to come through. Preferably not the dwarves.
Okay, so Zan and Becky discuss what we're going to tell Urt to do.
Uh.
Like Urt has no agency in this. Discuss this.
Urt has no agency. I don't know.
They're basically like, Urt has like, what? Do you want to open this to the dwarves? That's a terrible idea. You want to open this to the Empire? That's also a terrible idea.
I mean,
I'm up for both.
Let's try to. I mean, we would say try to open it up for the Empire instead of the dwarves. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna fix this thingy for you.
All right, Urt, roll me that arcane.
Okay, so Urt is just gonna be like, okay, I'm here to help. Right. So it looks like you went for a rune of Nurgle and you fucked it up.
It does look like a rune of Nurgle, doesn't it? It really does.
I hate you so much.
Like if you cast this, you guys would all have Ebola out of your eyes and your asses.
Oh.
All right, Urt.
And the roll is really average, like relentlessly average.
10 is average. 10 is average, people.
Yeah, but I'm at +7, so that's two below
but 15
average.
is above average.
No, it's 2 below.
15. The number 15.
I'm at +7.
I know, but still, 15 is above average for DCs.
So
Well,
the point is, Urt has no idea what the fuck he's doing, apparently. But what he does know...
Unless number says otherwise. You're not the DM, dude.
Yeah, you don't set the DC, Shaggy.
Oh,
Stop destroying everything. You're not the DC setter.
Don't decide our fate.
You're destroying everything.
I relinquish authority on reality.
Okay.
You never had any authority to begin with.
Fuck you. That is my argument. Lunk Thunk, back me up on this.
Lunk Thunk just flips you off.
Zan rolls initiative on Urt again for the second
Stop
time.
that. Get off.
Oh boy. Okay, so what Urt picks up about this circle, it is definitely something that has a few pieces to it that you haven't figured out just yet. There are definitely things that make it look to someone who is not a spellcaster like it's just going to work perfectly, but there's some hidden bits. And you haven't identified all the hidden bits yet. And that's putting you on edge.
Okay. Urt's standpoint on this is that...
Robot. Sorry.
Both of you,
You
Robot.
too.
Yeah,
You know what? I want to try something. Tab out of roll 20 when you want to talk.
I am roll 20 when I'm
Yeah, no, that's not what it is because, like I said,
Yeah.
this was happening with Shaggy yesterday when
Yeah,
we were
it's
playing
our
together.
packet lost from the mountain somewhere. It's a bad node.
Okay, I'm going to use the bathroom real quick then, just because.
Oh,
I'll be right back.
the 50-minute break wasn't enough. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so while he's gone, let's figure shit out. What's our end goal here? What are we all going for?
Zan is trying to get the contract completed, which means getting some Empire people through the portal and then letting Terry do whatever Terry wants to do with Circle of Death Rune.
Okay,
Hey,
so to be clear, is going to walk up and go, you know what would make this work a lot better? All of those elementals into Katie here.
I'm down for that.
Okay, so convincing them to sacrifice elementals.
Like, is going to
Terry
be
is
just
not.
very clear about it. It's like, we're trading your elementals for more of your people.
Yeah, Terry is not opposed to any of this so far. Terry is here, like, just
Well,
quite
think of
literally, just
Terry as the
bottom line
mastermind.
revenge. He's literally here for revenge right now.
Zan fully supports this.
But Terry needs to be the mastermind behind all this. Terry needs to be listening to what Zan's been saying and sort of catch that Zan's about to, dip out of combat.
Yeah, which is okay.
Yeah, you should both be aware that I cannot harm the Empire constituents at this point.
Yeah.
Or just her magic circle.
Yeah, Terry is aware, and Terry knows that he has plenty of help along with his giant kill circle. Don't think personally, as many as we think is actually going to get through will get through. Even with all of the souls of the elementals, if we get their souls, because they're summoned creatures.
Do be aware that the Circle of Death will hit every creature in its radius, regardless of affiliation.
Also, hi.
Hi, welcome back.
Well, that means that you guys would have to get the fuck out of Dodge before Terry activates
some sort of
circle.
yeah, exactly. Just be aware of that.
Okay, so who casts circle?
Terry
It's
has
gonna be
Terry has the item.
How do you cast it? How far?
It's 150 feet with a 60-foot radius.
Can you reach down here? Let's double check that.
Yes, it is. I checked ahead of time. It's within 150 feet.
Okay, so Zan, if you're ditching, what are you going to be doing? Are you going to be telling Waffles to, get in there and, hold up the side?
Well, what it would be is we'd find a reason for Zan and Urt to get out of Dodge temporarily. Like, hey, we're going to go grab some stuff. Be right back. And then, or hey, contract's done. See ya. And then let Terry, just Circle of Death. You say, hey, contract's done. Bye. And then we leave, and then Circle of Death hits.
Okay, so Zan's plan is just to ditch and have Terry insta-kill everyone.
Or get close to insta-kill. I don't know if because Circle of Death isn't necessarily going to insta-kill everyone. It'll murder anyone below level 5 for sure, because it's 8d8, right?
It's a lot, yeah.
Okay, quick question. Numbers.
Hi.
Do we have a rough idea of how much bigger the portal would be? Like, how many people would come through if Urt fixes shit?
That, I would say, is going to be an arcane.
Separate from what I've already done?
Yes. Okay, total of 20. So, Urt, given the amount of power that's in Lung Thunk, and given the size of the circle and the power demands of it, if you fixed it up, you would probably get something along the lines of 20 people through.
Okay, now what if we sacrificed all the elementals?
Now, here is a thing that you can tell because of that same roll. The elementals, when they die, they don't actually die. They just get sent back to their home dimension.
That's
So
what I thought.
So they're not actually going to free up a whole bunch of soul energy by being killed.
What about the runes of summon elemental?
The runes of summon elemental, if you broke those down and gathered a bunch of power from them, you could actually harvest that and make the circle more effective.
Okay, now what's the check for Urt to, be clever and say, hey, if I break the runes, I bet those guys desummon.
That is also part of having an arcane of 20. The spell is one that lasts for as long as it is maintained. it is designed so that the elementals can be dismissible if there is something wrong. So
Ert is suddenly a lot less confident about this betrayal.
Well, he just has to convince them that we need to use the elementals because they don't have arcane knowledge. They're asking you for arcane knowledge. So Ert needs to be the one to be like,
You
hey,
tell them that you can easily tell them that you can use the power of the runes to help power this more.
Wait, we can lie about science?
It's
If you lie, it's not science.
the numbers just said it was totally doable for you to use the power from those runes instead of the souls. So you would just have to tell them that they'd have to dispel the summons in order for you to gain access to the power that's in the runes.
Terry, please roll persuade.
Gonna literally try to persuade with
Yes,
by
yes, you're trying to
parroting.
persuade Ert that he should lie about science.
It's not lying. You can use the magic from the runes to power
Yes,
another
yes, yes, but
magic
he
thing.
doesn't but they don't need to dismiss them first, and that's what we're
persuade,
convincing them to
Terry.
do. There is no reason to dismiss them, and Ert's gonna lie.
28.
28.
Yeah,
Holy shit, Ert is just like, "Okay, Terry. Fine, fine, fine." So, right, okay, look, right now, with this crystal, we get, like, what? How many guys? Numbers.
20.
20 guys. Is 20 guys enough?
The captain frowns and says, "It would be significantly preferable to have more."
Uh, these elemental dudes, they're pretty high level, right?
He squints at them and says, "They are from some rune that we have on hand in case of problems." There was
Okay,
a,
bitchin', gimme.
the captain blinks and then looks at Zan and says, "If this is some method to get us to relinquish our
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
security,
yeah. Let me see him. Come on. I got
It's
detect magic on here.
as far as I can tell, he likes breaking runes apart to siphon out soul energy to use as more energy. So as far as I can tell, he's using it for more energy.
the
Yeah.
captain
So
squints a bit and says, "You are aware that you are our security detail if anything goes wrong."
You told me to pull them to get you enough energy to open this portal and to get people through the portal. That is the
Ert
contract.
just
This is
pushes
And
Zan at this point. Ert is
and
like,
he's
stop it. Stop it. No.
he didn't
and
specify in the contract that I'm pulling security after they pull through the portal. He did not specify that.
he specified security while the portal is getting set up. And
Correct.
yeah,
Okay. Quick question. We should roll legalese.
No, that's while the portal's getting set up. That's correct. Yes. We're not there's yes, if somebody attacks while the portal's getting set up, yes. Got it. Check.
and the captain squints a bit at this and has a brief conference with the major. Zan, perception check.
And perception check. Mm. That's only a 10. I rolled a 2 plus 8 is a 10.
Then you miss a little bit of the following of the conversation immediately after this, which puts you on the back foot a little. Oh well. So
I have a passive perception of 18.
you think that they're talking about something logistical. They're probably discussing like whether they can actually trust this particular arrangement to actually protect them. But it seems that they're reasonably confident that, toward the end of it, they'll have something workable.
The major's like, why are you talking to me? The lieutenant was the one who cast the Geos spell. I have no idea what you're talking about.
My question is, why is the captain a higher authority than the major when a major's a higher rank than a captain?
Well, mostly because the DM doesn't think about that sort of thing, and also the DM focuses on, the characters that you actually know instead of the ones that you don't.
Yeah, we're just gonna say that he's a major private.
in the Empire, majors are a major pain.
Exactly.
He's a private major. Okay, quick, rename him the sergeant.
Sergeant. There you go.
You know,
That actually
We're
works.
all waiting. Just go,
Or warrant officer, or
Master
corporal,
Chief.
Master Chief Petty Officer, first class.
Steve. We're all waiting for your numbers.
Anyway, Choggy's waiting for you. I'm not.
Okay, there we go. So I'm up here. I'm fixing the circle. What was that roll from Zan? He said what?
He seems to have been discussing things, and the captain hands over a rune of summon earth elemental to Urt.
That it?
The captain grimaces and says,
Urt is like, wait, you all don't have them?
The lieutenant also hands over a rune to Urt.
What about the other guy?
That one we are going to keep in reserve to see how much we can do with this amount of energy.
Do you have any other high-level runes?
Oh my god.
He's literally just breaking it down for energy. It's amount of energy equals amount of
I'm going to
people.
cram them into the crystal. You know, the more runes we put in, the more people you get. Very yes or no here.
I'm going to have you roll a persuasion with advantage.
Because Terry would assist.
Terry, what should I do?
Well, also because it's kind of the truth, you know? Like,
like really aggressively average.
it's advantage.
Yes. You dingus.
Means you roll twice.
Is there an easy way to roll advantage?
Oh my gosh. Very average.
Or just doesn't respond, period.
Okay, so the captain...
Or just keeps his mouth shut, and that's average.
The captain considers for a long moment. They have another discussion between the lieutenant, the warrant officer, Petty Sergeant First Class Steve, and they end up handing Urt a small selection of runes, about 5 in total, ranging from cantrips to a couple of actually good big spells.
Bitchin', what's that in energy?
In universe with energy, this is probably enough to make a pretty big portal appear.
No. Give me a number. You have to commit, DM.
Fuck you. God damn it. In that case,
roll for it.
That's a good point, actually. 17 energy.
Okay, so we have 17 energy onto our 5. That brings us up to 22 out of 27.
So, yes, actually, they're getting pretty close to their goal. Does Urt actually say the explicit numbers?
No, literally. Urt's like, okay, we're at 22 out of 27. We got a bunch of elementals here.
The captain grimaces again and says, "This is why I don't like working with the dwarves."
The who now?
Zan's enjoying this immensely.
And the captain finally hands over several several bags of the soul chip crystals. You know, the actual...
No. I mean, the elementals themselves.
The captain stares at Urt and then says, "I realize that you meant the elementals themselves. The elementals themselves are staying. They are part of the security detail."
You realize they last for like 4 hours, right?
If they last for only 4 hours, then they last for only 4 hours. That is not your concern, Urt.
Don't you have the murder bird?
Hey, murder bird here.
God damn it.
Like, you have the murder bird. We don't need the rocks.
The captain looks at Urt.
Okay, quick question.
You could always tell me to murder the dwarf, and I might actually do it.
You could literally say that.
And the captain says...
It's not in the contract, but I might do it anyway.
The captain...
Okay, does that give me advantage on persuasion?
I will allow you 1 persuasion flat. No advantage.
12.
The captain grinds his teeth a little and says, "If you can think of some way to harvest the elementals for runic energy, then maybe, if you can convince me that it is a good trade-off, we can do that. However, if there are other avenues available to us, such as these soul gem chips that I am presenting you right now, that might also gather us enough energy, then perhaps we should use the easier one."
The what who now?
You know, I'm gonna have Ert roll me a persuasion or intimidation. Low is better.
Because Ert is just being so dumb.
Oh, now you get the high roll. Oh
No,
my
Oh, you
god.
get the high rolls. Jeez Louise.
Oh shit! Soul crystals? Oh fuck! Give me those. How much we got?
The captain looks like he wants to eat his gun, except that he doesn't have a gun.
Feel
Wait,
free to
he has
eat
a
your
gun?
gun. Or you can eat your sword. Feel free. After you pay me, though.
The captain hands over the soul chips in
How
order.
much energy? Give us.
I'm gonna roll another couple of dice. 13 more energy. He had quite the horde.
Ert's like, okay, cool. Now
So,
we need to harvest these fuckers. Get them over in a giant pile, and we'll figure out the rest.
the captain rubs his face with an expression of, why did I allow this to happen?
Look, did you want all of them or some of them? All of them, get them in a pile.
Some of them. And
Ert just looks at him as like, that's traitor talk.
the captain gestures over these elementals and he says, make use of these if necessary. What does Ert actually do to them?
Okay, no, Ert just wants them in a giant. No, Ert just like literally put them over there. Giant pile. No reason.
Why?
I'm really confused as to what's happening.
I'm really confused.
Ert is trying to put all the melee enemies in a giant pile where we can ignore them.
Is he actually trying to use actual tactics?
Yes, Ert is trying to use tactics. What role is that?
Oh my god.
Terry almost wants to get
Like,
Ert.
Terry,
Luna
do you want to
Sonic
use
Recession.
tactics here? Because my whole thing is like, put all the earth elementals in a giant pile away from the fight so we can just kill everyone.
Oh, Terry is impressed. He almost wants to give Ert a rune of summon cookie.
That would be the death of
Zan
me.
wants to remind everyone that the three of us have bardic inspiration die that we could have used at any point to improve our persuasion rolls.
That is true.
So, okay, let's just decide this right now. What are we going to do with all the elementals? Are we going to tease them into a pile and, kite
Looks like-
them?
I mean, we have the majority of them being disassembled, so I think that's a win. I think pushing it anymore.
Well, are they going to let me disassemble them, or are they just going to
that's
let
what
me?
it looks
Yeah.
like. There's a big X on them.
Yes, they are in fact letting Ert disassemble them on the condition that this actually, provides more runic energy.
And they don't have any way of measuring that, so
Okay, Ert's going to send Lugton Covert, do it, and go, yep, that's a lot of rooting energy. Let's do this.
Fucking hell.
Zan doesn't know any better. Zan's a freaking idiot when it comes to arcane.
I mean, it's a crystal. What are they going to do? Think it glows more?
I mean, that is legitimate.
Okay, what's Lung Thunk's role to persuade?
No, don't even go that far.
Ooh, it tingle. So we get to free kill these elementals. Let's delete them along with the X.
Okay. And
That did not work. Anyway, let's do this shit.
Captain's just, it didn't work. Oh my god. And Lieutenant has to
I
come.
thought it would work.
Lieutenant has
Oh
to
my
come
god,
forward.
your eye!
It looks like it is bulging out of his face. Oh boy.
Okay, so we're about to kick this summon into full gear. Literally everyone's coming out.
Oh boy. Okay, so
That is how many people again?
1,000?
yes, about 1,000 people.
Okay,
And the
what are the horde rules for crowd of aristocrats?
That is an excellent question. Meanwhile, Terry, you get another ping on the clipboard as the captain begins sending messages. He says that despite many, many inconveniences, the plan is go. As in, they are ready to bring forth all of the people that he has promised would be brought forth.
And does Terry now have a list?
Terry does indeed have a list.
And now, is it as we assumed? Are they all aristocrats?
They are all people who are high up in the Enikos hierarchy. They are secret police, policymakers, that sort of person. There are only a limited few who actually seem like they could defend themselves.
Okay, and like none of them are like women and children who aren't involved.
They could be
Exa-
women. It's the
I mean, they
Edicals isn't
can be women.
sexist, okay?
That's
Women,
why I meant.
Becky,
That's,
women
that's
can
why I
hold
prefaced-
positions of power, okay?
We're
That's
ageist
why
Women
I
are
either.
prefaced-
allowed to hold positions of power, Becky.
That is
We're-
why I prefaced that aren't
You
involved.
chauvinist.
I'm just saying we aren't ageist either, and there's some toddlers that are going to come through armed.
That's why I prefaced that they were women and children who are not involved. Thank
What
you.
about men that are not involved, huh, Becky? Huh?
I mean, half of them died.
involved.
All the men who weren't involved are all kind of like dead on the battlefield because they were all drafted into being soldiers.
Fair.
Quick question: does it matter that I use different colors?
No.
That's good because I thought it did.
But yeah, on the list, so it's all people who are like directly involved. None of them are like innocent bystanders.
Correct. It seems almost as though, for some reason, the captain here didn't think that innocent civilians or blameless soldiers were worth saving.
I wonder why. Yeah, no, Terry's ready to get that circle up and running.
Oh boy, time for some mass murder! Okay, so now I'm gonna have
The
one.
only regret Terry has is that he can't look the captain in the face and say that this is a gift from the Fae of Enikos.
Oh
Wait, there's
boy,
Faye on Enikos?
there were.
It's his only regret is that he cannot say this. Because, he's gonna be dead before Terry can do
I
it.
imagine Terry's just narrating, and it's like, please stop.
No, Terry's keeping it to himself.
No, this is like the culmination of Terry's whole crusade here.
I mean, it kind of is, yes.
You
Except the
have
part where we have
of
no
every-
idea how we're going to
It
deal
is.
with these
Yes
people.
and no. This is the
Yes,
revenge
well,
part,
yes,
but he
well,
still needs
yes,
to find a safe place for his people.
Speaking of that, should we ditch Zan?
Hmm?
Should
We're
we
not
ditch?
ditching Zan.
No,
I
as
was
in,
asking
should
me if we should
we
leave.
get the fuck out of here?
Did they come through the portal?
Now, this is the part that I have been waiting for a moment to talk. It is time for Urt to give me another arcane check, and this is going to be an important one.
Okay, no bardic inspiration?
You do have a bardic inspiration.
Yes, you do have a bardic inspiration, and if you like, you can also argue for advantage if you specify where you're getting it from.
Okay. Urt's going to grab the dude's tablet.
As in the captain's?
Yeah, the captain's.
Okay.
Like the guy's on the other end, right?
The captain squints and says, I would prefer if I handled
Yeah,
communication.
that's nice. Slap it down on the altar. Bitchin'. Advantage me, DM.
Oh my god. Okay. In that case, Urt, with you micromanaging the people on the other end, I will grant you an advantage on the arcane check.
It did not
Plus
help,
a D8.
even slightly.
Plus a D8. Yeah,
Remember the D8 for inspiration?
you're at
Oh,
18. Plus
yeah,
a D8
sorry,
for
I
inspiration.
used the auto roll. So, how do you
Just
want
do
me to roll
1d8.
this?
R /R 1d8. So
Okay.
23.
23 total. Okay, so here is how things play out. Urt begins setting the circle up. He notices that there are a few fail-safes hidden in it that apparently make it redirect to some other energy source. Urt removes those particular pieces. They do not seem like they will be productive in the here and now.
Urt's like, yeah, that's my mom's house. Fuck that.
And so, with that, Urt actually manages to bridge the connection, and the portal begins to open. and I'm going to see if I can find a portal graphic because, yeah,
I'll draw one. You just get the giant hordes of aristocrats, please.
oh god. All right, you are on the hook to draw one. I'm just going to start flooding the arena.
Roll 20 is gonna lag so hard.
Oh god. Here, I'll just use these king tokens. We got multiple kings. The king and his husband,
Like horde though, horde.
members of the secret police. Oh, hey, that's the same token that I used for the captain himself.
Terry, I hope you appreciate how much effort we're putting into your own, red wedding. Technicolor wedding.
Technicolor wedding.
Oh
Like
god.
I'm just glad you got to kill the entire aristocracy.
Terry wonders only for like a millisecond how this is going to affect Enikos, and then he remembers. At this point, he doesn't care.
Let them eat turkey legs.
The map's not going to be able to fit 1,000 like individual characters, but you also have to take into account the fact that if you're pushing 1,000 people through a portal, they're not going to have 5 feet of space on either side of them.
Oh, hell
Right.
yeah.
So they're going to be really clumped together.
You
Yeah,
could
yeah.
probably
Each
fit,
of these
like,
guys is 5 by 5.
I was gonna say, you could probably fit like a person every square foot if you're really squeezing them in.
Yeah. So each one of these squares is 5 people.
I
Essentially.
appreciate the effort you're putting into this, though. That's a lot. It's like, who knew we had a whole Japanese contingent here?
I know, right? But no,
Your
that's just
hat
an
is
artifact of the.
dumb. Not you, Dave. The other guy.
There are so many kings. There's so much royalty.
So many
1
ninjas
second,
too.
please place Dave. If Dave just sort of steps out of the whole fight.
Oh god. Okay, just about. I gotta go grab the Dave token.
He's right there. I see him.
Yeah,
Just
and right
Dave-
there too.
There's like 3 Daves.
And right there too. Look, Dave liked this party so much he came 3 times.
Dave is just hanging out. I mean, I'm sure Dave already knows about all of our backstories, and it's just like, yeah, this feels right for Terry.
Okay, you say that you witnessed Dave. No, Dave actually has a blue outfit. So here is Dave. Hey, Ert, how you doing? Just imagine him just like coming out of the portal. Hey, Ert, how's it going?
Ert's just like, hey, Dave. You might want to move a bit. You ever
Yeah,
heard of the spell wild magic?
Spell wild magic? Damn, you have been discovering some new things, Ert.
It's like, I am science incarnate. And by incarnate, I mean you might need to run pretty fast.
Think the word you're looking for is incinerate?
That, yes.
Oh god.
Like, Zan, are you gonna carry me?
Yeah, I can.
For 1,000,000 gold, sure.
I mean, as soon as this Zan's gonna grab that
Well,
contract and he's gonna
literally,
cash it in.
Ert's like, I will pay you 1,000,000 gold to carry me out of here. Okay, Numbers, you need to chill.
No, I want to make this entire space full, and then I will chill.
No, that's enough. That group is enough. Please back me up here, guys.
Yes, this is a big enough waste of time. Correct.
Okay, I believe you. There we go. All right, so with
Ping us
everyone,
onto the center.
okay. So welcome to the entire flood of people, and all of them are milling around, confused, not sure what's going to happen next, and a lot of them berating the captain for taking so long and allowing this to happen.
Elbows Dave. Holy shit, they're inbred.
Little do they know.
Zan walks up to the lieutenant, grabs the contract from the lieutenant, and says, "My job's done. I'm gonna go get my gold. Peace out."
The captain walks up, holds up his hand, and says, I am bound by the Gias to uphold my end of the bargain, which means that I now need to take you to the location of the bank so that things can be arranged.
Zan takes the captain with him and Ert and Lunk and leaves the area, and then taps his when they get clear of the area with just him and the captain and Ert
And
and
Dave.
Lunk and Dave, sure. Zan taps his earring twice for Terry.
It's like, good job, guys. Game over. We out.
And there are several people yelling after the captain, demanding to know when he's going to be back to actually lead him out of this cesspit. And the captain
I'll
just
drop him off after 30 minutes. It'll be great.
Who's this guy?
That was just one of the tokens that I didn't place correctly. There we go. Boop.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, bitch.
Bitch.
So
Okay.
Zan takes the captain away to get into the bank and lets Terry do his thing.
All
Yeah.
right.
He's
So,
like,
Terry.
so, Captain, about this.
I get the gold first before I sell anything to him.
So,
We're going to leave now together. You don't have a choice in this matter
Correct.
because I'm leaving and you have to go with me.
Correct.
and so the captain looks to.
1 second. I feel like this should be a roll
What
Oh,
am I
God.
rolling?
because the captain can just say, no, I need to stay here.
No, because he filled the contract, and if not, the contract's going to axe him for not paying
But
out.
he's like, no, I need to make sure it all finishes.
You know
Does
what?
he
I'm gonna-
argue on technicalities or does he just go with Zan? That's the question.
I
He
like
rolls a
how
Go ahead.
Holy
I-
shit, Zan, you're in trouble.
I like how when it comes to this game, Shoggy has been co-DMing, making it intentionally harder for all of us, including Shoggy.
Well, because numbers is a weenie.
It is true, I am actually a weenie. Oh, boy.
Anywho,
So, you
I
giant
do
nerds.
apologize, but I feel like it makes it funner.
So, you giant nerds. Here is what happens. As the captain is walking away, he gets a curious look on his face and says, actually, this would be an ideal time to get everyone evacuated from the premises. Our neighbors are not exactly friendly. So, how about we all go down to the bank, and thus we make every withdrawal at once? Save us all a lot of time.
as long as for Terry, as long as you can get them all in a central
if they're
location.
staying together, that's fine. Sure, let's do it.
Look, have you ever heard of herding cats?
This is like that, but
The
for
aristocrats. That's a joke.
Now, here's the next question. When it comes to this bank, is it considered a good bank since they're holding slush funds?
it is considered to be a, how do I put this? A reputable bank, one that you can rely on, not necessarily one that is completely morally upright.
It's Switzerland, but with dragons.
Yes.
Let's just treat it like that.
Covert Kobold. We serve all the people that other people don't want to serve.
Terry, I am debating the idea of setting up the kill circle at the bank, so while everyone's in there, just everyone in the bank.
Terry, I will have you
But-
specifically roll me a history check or an intelligence saving throw.
Let's try a history. Oop. 23.
Okay, so here's the thing, Becky. This bank is actually backed by dragons, and these dragons are not the type who would accept a lot of their workers being arbitrarily murdered.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, it's going to be Terry saying that this change in plan is fine and all, but I cannot set up this spell in the bank. We do not want dragons as our enemy. The black dragon was,
Bad enough.
let's call him an exception. He's an exception because he was kind of really easy to actually fight.
Because he was within punching range.
Yeah, like
Unironically, yes.
that black dragon was an exception to the rules, not standard. I don't want dragons angry with us, so you are going to
Dragon
need
was
to
a 12-year-old.
find a way to get all of those people together outside the bank.
So Zan's gonna turn to the captain and be like, "You're really gonna bring 1,000 people into a freaking bank?"
The captain shrugs and says, or into the general vicinity of the bank, under its protections at the very least. I understand that financial institutions have a great amount of security.
Do they have
And
enough
after all,
room for 1,000 people?
you know what? I'm gonna have him roll another intelligence check against this.
Like that's
I
a
feel
genuine.
like
I'm not trying to deceive. That's a genuine question.
Yeah. It's
That's why he
I-
rolled the intelligence check.
I also feel like he doesn't realize that as long as if the people are dead, the dragons get to keep the money if it's not already
yes,
been
that's the
withdrawn.
dragon's whole gimmick.
Oh
So
boy.
like you're not gonna fit 1,000 people into this bank, dude.
Like, we get our million gold, we walk out, and before anyone walks in, Terry activates the thing, and now all the dragons are like, oh no, 1,000 people who had money in our bank are dead, and they didn't give us any kind of will or anything. So no, I guess we get to keep their money in a trust. Oh no.
That trust is your bed. I'm just saying.
And like, if you want, like Zan's gonna say, if you want, you can bring them to just outside the town where the bank is and have them sit there. But you're really gonna have us with 1,000 assholes just milling around, yelling at you while you're trying to withdraw from the bank, and trying to squeeze all of those assholes into one building that is maybe designed for 100 people.
The captain considers this and he says, much as I don't like to admit it, Zan, you do have a point.
No shit.
The captain rubs his head and says, if you were actually willing to provide this kind of tactical advice before things went south, maybe a whole lot of tragedy could have been avoided. Well,
If you didn't shove fucking crystals in my hand and paid me when you were supposed to, none of this would have happened. Crazy.
the
You are
captain looks.
incredibly salty about this. Please address that fact.
Am salty. Confirm.
The captain raises a finger and then says, much as I hate to admit it, you do have a point, but at the time you were still an untrusted asset. Regardless, we're moving past that in the here and now. We'll find another safe location for them. The captain looks at what seems to be a wristwatch and says, then, in that case, we are going to have to change the plan.
Money, please. Now, please. Yeah.
I am aware of your need for the money, and I am under a direct compulsion to provide you the money.
Then let's go.
I also have other draws on my attention, and the safety of these
Please
people.
have a 10-second pause to announce that I have spent the last 5 minutes trying to upload a picture, and Roll20 won't let me do it.
What picture? Just upload it
Of
to
the
Player Playground.
Orgrimmar Bank.
Oh,
The
no.
background of the bank.
Oh, no.
And it won't let me do it. It just
We're
keeps
not
on
gonna
saying,
go to the-
add another picture.
We're not going to Orgrimmar.
Okay, please
I-
ignore me. Continue.
I thought we were just gonna theater of the mind to the
But
bank.
that's why
now.
I'm so quiet. I'm doing this. I have the picture. It's on my hard drive. I keep hitting upload. It doesn't do anything.
Okay, so you giant dingles.
Terry, please just kill them all.
Working on it. Stop interrupting.
We want the money too.
So, the captain says, I do have other draws on my time and attention. The entire reason that I had you do any of this was to keep these people safe and secure. At present, we do not have a secure location to put them. I am trying to address that as expeditiously as possible. If the bank will not work, I need a different strategy.
If you don't give me my money now, I'm going to complain that the contract was not fulfilled and you're going to get your ass roasted by a dragon.
He puts his fingers to his temple again and he says, I am aware that this is frustrating for you. I am aware that you want your money sooner rather than later. However, I have some of my own drives that I need to address.
How does the DM? How does the contract work?
He is obligated, like he is forced to act
Okay.
in the best interests of the contract. He genuinely thinks that he is.
By not paying me?
Not paying you yet. He is trying to handle a small logistical issue. He genuinely believes that this is going to take a very small amount of time and that Zan is being an asshole about this.
You think moving 1,000 people is going to take a small... Okay, sure. Where are we moving them, Coach?
He says, if I had a moment to think, I could figure
You
that
do.
out.
Think.
Got it, Zan.
Zan is going to be an asshole to this guy for the rest of the time that they're in contact.
Why is he so smart? I don't understand why he keeps rolling so well. Why is he this smart?
Because he's legitimately the final boss.
Yes, he's the one between Zan and a million gold. That makes him the final boss by default.
I mean, we still have a few other major challenges to get through, but when it comes to like a big bad as a person specifically,
It's either him or Toad. Pick your poison.
Look,
it's
this whole
probably
series...
him because like Terry has major beef, Zan has beef with him, Urt is Urt.
Who's that guy?
What are we doing here? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Wait, where are the dwarves at?
After getting rid of him, most of our problems are rather like large, nebulous, not person specific.
Well, Zan's going into retirement here soon, probably.
I mean, Terry still has to find a safe place for his home, and Urt needs to, find the Dwarf King, I guess.
I guess.
Look,
Oh, God.
Urt has a crystal, Urt has magic happening.
Okay.
Deal with it.
And we have
So,
to find a place for all these soldiers we're in charge of.
Who?
so you dingles. The captain is going to make a deal, and he's going to make a deal with the dwarves because they are so nearby and because they have proven to actually appreciate money. He is going to make a deal to temporarily, as in for a couple of hours, house all of these nobles and aristocrats within their mine. It is probably not going to be 100% safe. It is probably going to be something that a whole lot of people complain about, but he is going to make a deal with the dwarves for another large quantity of money to just hold all these goddamn aristocrats while he goes to the bank and gets and withdraws the money for Zan and the dwarves.
Sounds like they get $1 million too? But you gave me $1 million.
Like he's legitimately offering the dwarves 1 million gold, and the dwarves are like, "What the fuck?"
It's like, wait, the million's the one with 6 zeros, right?
Would Terry be able to tell very easily that if these dwarves would care or not if all of these aristocrats actually died?
That is going to be a Terry insight.
Terry insight. 21.
Like, how much does the captain antagonize these people?
The captain has antagonized these people pretty hard. He's been very demanding. He's been a little shit. He's not been understanding of dwarven culture. So here is the thing. If the dwarves got paid, but also all of the, people that they were housing mysteriously died and they didn't have to worry about them anymore, that would be that would be a good ending for them. The only thing that they'd be concerned about is their reputation in the wider world. Like, if a whole bunch of people started thinking, hey, those dwarves killed a bunch of motherfuckers just to get a bunch of money. As long as they're not seen in that light, as long as they are deniable, that they can claim that they knew nothing about what the hell was happening, they don't care.
Okay, so Terry knows all this, and he will not have to talk to the dwarves at all then. He would just have to wait until the dwarves are out of range and then kill all the aristocrats.
And make sure that the dwarves get paid about it.
Yes.
Okay, then, in that case, the captain sends all the aristocrats off to Dwarfville with the Earth Elementals as their guards. Apparently, they still have control over the Earth Elementals.
We're not
Okay.
leaving them here?
Oh,
They're
I
not-
have the perfect
We can't leave
Once
them here in this
the
room,
dwarves are
please?
supposed the dwarves get paid and then they're supposed to guard these aristocrats. But guess what we have learned that they are obsessed with when it comes to their caves?
What's that?
OSHA compliance.
Oh no.
Little
no.
Toad can run up to the dwarves and just yell, just safety OSHA problem, and then they all follow the tiny mushroom.
Okay, so my real question here is Terry gonna jump in for a giant murder blast as they're all grouped up or not?
He's going to when everything is said and done. He wants the dwarves to get paid too.
I'm just not sure that we're gonna have this chance again, is all I'm saying.
Hmm.
Where
Okay.
they're all together on one screen.
They will be all together on one screen, being protected by the dwarves. The dwarves are probably just going to stick all of them in one big room because the dwarves want nothing to do with the aristocrats.
Yeah, the dwarves are basically going to put them into Shaft 9 and say, don't touch anything.
Okay, fine.
You sound so disappointed, Shoggy.
Well,
Shaggy's trying to make this as difficult as possible.
exactly. Continue. So
Ugh.
they're
He
off.
wants drama. He wants things to go wrong.
You are not actually wrong.
Look, we are not putting that much effort into this genocide.
That's valid.
We could be better at this.
We are at this point, though. Everything has become so convoluted now, okay?
Okay, so here's the thing. Zan, you need to not give any indication of what is happening for the entire time that the captain withdraws the money. This is going to be an actual challenge that I will have you roll for.
And you still have a bardic inspiration, I believe.
Yes,
Only
I do.
Earth used one.
What was the skill I'm rolling? Sorry, I missed that.
The skill that you are rolling, you are going to have to roll a deception check or a wisdom saving throw. I bet I know which one you'll pick.
Fucking wisdom. All right, rolling that. 19 plus a d8. 26.
Okay, and the insight of the captain. Terry saved you.
Thanks, Terry.
And
Terry
and-
saved Ert earlier, too.
And so you go to the Covert Kobold Bank and you withdraw the money, and the captain is just kind of like disturbed at how much money there actually is. Just really is a lot of this currency.
How are you supposed to carry that?
And so the captain
It's very heavy.
The captain hands over the incredibly heavy, like, pillowcase of gold. It weighs as much as a house or a car.
No, a house full of gold.
I was gonna say, I feel like we have platinum pieces, because I know platinum is above gold.
Platinum
Yes.
is 10 gold. One platinum is 10 gold. So that would be 100,000 platinum pieces, which is still too much to carry.
Yeah.
Zan would open his own account and transfer the money to his account.
The Covert
It's like
Kobold,
at that amount of money, there's not physical exchanges. The dragon just reaches out to you. It's like, "Hi, Zan. You get." looks at the note. 1 million minus
right.
expenses. We good?
Okay, so you open a Covert Kobold account, and the captain looks mildly disappointed that he didn't manage to inconvenience you with actually handing over the ridiculous amount of money. And then the captain says, "With that, the Gios is completed. Our obligations to each other are entirely lifted. Zan, I hope you will not take it in a negative way when I say that I hope never to see you ever again."
The feeling is so fucking mutual. May you rot in hell.
Is this the part where we murder him?
Is Ert
Or
actually
just ask it out loud? Dave was like, no, you don't say that.
And the captain looks back to Dave and just, "Dave, why are you here?" And Dave is just like, "Hey man, I'm just along for the ride." So with all of
You
that,
sure fucked up.
He is also going to withdraw the money for the dwarves, and he realizes in retrospect that he should have had a dwarf here in order to do the transfer.
Dave will take it for him.
Because now he is on the hook to drag all of the money back up to the dwarven stronghold.
Not Dave will do
So
it.
while
Is it-
that's going on, Terry is murdering.
Yeah, Zan will give as
Okay.
soon as Zan gets the money. Zan gives Terry the go ahead. Like, hey, I'm rich now. Feel free to do whatever you want.
So
Because
the
Harry.
captain is off the
he's
map.
someone, either Zan and Ert or the captain is going to be bringing that money. Someone will be bringing the money.
So, with that, Terry, in order to perform the murder, you are going to have Toad be the OSHA fire drill, right?
The one who gets all of the dwarves who are quote unquote watching Shaft 9, to follow him. Because any extra distance, the better.
In that case, I want you to. Jesus Christ, what? Sorry, I tried to open Toad's sheet and saying 503 service unavailable. Oh God, roll 20 crashed.
Did roll 20 crash? Rip.
Okay, so Becky, on whatever dice roller you actually do have, I'm going to have you roll a d20 for Toad's deception check.
Okay.
Um,
Our roll 20s are still up, so you just roll a toad and we'll tell him, right?
Yes, please do.
So just roll a d20. Let's see if I can get it to work in the chat.
Or go on to Toad's sheet and roll it. Let me know.
One d20. I tried to get into Toad's sheet, and I got the 503 as well. And fingers crossed. 15.
Plus whatever.
Yes, and the whatever for Toad is no small amount because Toad is actually a charismatic boy, and I believe that Terry did have him level up his persuasion or deception.
Mhm.
So, with that, you guys actually do manage to get the dwarves evacuated away from the aristocrats. There are some guards, but they're standing at a distance and they look very nervous. So, Terry, they are all in a space where you can cast Circle of Death. Do you cast Circle of Death?
Now, I want you guys to imagine, if you will, that Terry is smiling with such mirth and glee that if Zan and Ert were here, they would be legitimately unsettled as he activates this circle of death.
Now, let me see one thing about Circle of Death. Because
120-foot diameter, 8d8, 150-foot range.
8d6 necrotic damage
Oh,
on a failed save.
8d6.
Okay.
bad.
So hold on, I'm going to get my own dice roller. In fact, I'm just going to roll it in Player Playground.
Every a typical NPC with no class is like what, 10 hit points?
So here's the thing. There are a few of these people who are actually high enough experience to be level 2. So there might be actually a few survivors in this. Because the damage that I rolled was 31.
Why doesn't Terry get a roll damage numbers for Terry's spell? Okay.
Well, actually, that is a good point. Yeah, Terry, if you want to roll the 8d6, let's go ahead and do that then.
I'm not going to risk it because what you rolled only has one, and everything else is pretty high for a d6.
Sure, metagaming. Okay, so with that, there are a lot of people who just immediately drop dead, but I am going to say that there are some people who do survive, and I'm going to just roll real quick.
Mhm.
There are 74 survivors out of like more than 1,000 people. They are only barely alive, and now Terry and Toad are on the hook to kill them before they raise the alarm.
Okay. Let's see. What do I have? I know that Toad has Eldritch Blast.
You should have. Didn't Toad get Fireball? Did somebody get an AoE spell of some sort that caused a lot of damage? I thought we decided on one of those. I know bards can't get Fireball, but it was something else.
Wait a minute. Didn't you also take Kethlin with you? And I just forgot that you did that.
Yes. I'm
Thanks,
sure
Karen.
Kethlin is just as excited.
In that case, it looks like Roll20 might be coming back.
Waffle was here too.
Waffle is just like, so we commit war crimes?
And just Terry goes, "It's only a war crime if they've written a rule about it."
Oh, God.
Terry wants to rewrite the Geneva Convention.
Oh, God. So,
Come on, load the sheet.
I'm trying. Roll20 is fighting me. It still says 503.
Yeah, no, I'm trying. It's a gateway timeout.
Bad servers are bad.
Okay, so I just pulled up a random sheet, and just for a random Fey Witch, and the first spell on her list is Circle of Death.
So she could cast it too, but nah, that'd be overkill. So probably very cathartic for Kethlin.
You know what? I'm just gonna roll some random arcane check for Kethlin to see if she can cause even more chaos and destruction. Let's just see if Kethlin can be complicit in war crimes. Kethlin is
Okay.
having difficulty thinking of the appropriate spell for war crimes.
Can Terry assist?
You know what? Yes. She only rolled a 10, and now she rolled a 9.
Really? Okay, let's take that 10 and give her a bardic inspiration.
You know what? Fair enough.
8!
And she rolled a full 8. Okay.
So 18.
Then in that case, as there were only so few survivors, I'm going to say that she then casts a sleep spell and then goes around poisoning all of the survivors. And yes, she did cast it on the dwarven guards as well.
No witnesses.
So all the dwarves saw is that, they heard a whole bunch of thumps behind them. They turn around just in time to see a field of bodies, and then they pass out.
And Terry shall, come over to help because, this is a lovely time. This is wonderful friend bonding time.
So please imagine, at the end of all of this, Zan now has 1 million gold in his bank account, and here's one thing. Oh, Roll20's back up. Here, just a moment. I do have Kethlin's sheet here. Let's see if it'll actually load. Sort of. The formatting is fucky. God, this is just technical issues this session. I'm so sorry, except that I'm not actually sorry.
You could actually pull up Kethlin's sheet.
Sort of.
I can't pull up Kethlin's window at all, but I pulled up Toad's.
Anywho, so with all that bullshit and the fact that I still can't access the goddamn sheets because fuck you, Roll20, I am going to say the murders are pulled off successfully, and now the captain and Zan are returning back. Say again?
Terry and Kethlin is already gone. They're off the scene. Everyone's just dead.
Yes, everyone is just dead. And I'm just imagining both Terry and Kethlin have a whole shitload of blood on their hands because, they couldn't use all the cantrips. They did have to get their hands messy for some.
Mm-hmm.
So they have fled the scene. Toad has just barely kept the dwarves away from all this. Now, Zan, Ert, and the captain return onto the scene and find that every single one of them is dead.
Holy shit, I hope someone had the crystal on for that.
Lungthunk says, "Is that why my back is glowing?"
Yes.
Yay, Lungthunk.
Good job, buddy.
Oh man, what a shame. This is such
You know
a
what?
shame.
And
If
Terry,
it's any consolation, the captain, you're now one of the 1%.
The captain. Go ahead.
In Terry and Zan's earpiece before you let Captain say something, he's gonna let him know that he is very happy and satisfied right now. If Zan wants to deal with the captain, he can. After all, he did say the Gios was broken.
Is it?
It's
Yeah,
true.
the captain said the Gios is done, right? So I can hurt the captain now?
That is a slippery thing that the captain did specify that none of you called me out on. He did actually specify, and
I think, yeah, no, I think I clarified this, and you said that I can't hurt after the contract is done. We can't hurt each other. The CRT and the Empire folks cannot hurt each other.
Correct.
So
Oh,
yes.
after?
Zan's hands are
Okay.
still tied.
Well, Terry just says that, anyone involved has, been relocated somewhere safe so that the captain cannot blame any of this on any of us.
And so, when all this is revealed, let us. Is Zan actually there to witness the carnage? I have to ask.
Zan would have just headed back to the camp with his money. He doesn't care. He just been like, I'm done. Terry's gonna finish the rest of this. Peace out.
I just want to witness what the captain does, because at this point, he's paid the dwarves, but everyone's dead.
Oh God.
He comes back is like, that was the entire aristocracy.
Terry would be in a position in hiding with Kethlin to witness this, but Captain wouldn't see them at all.
Well, Zan would touch his earring and say, "Remember, I can't kill the captain. So one of you two do it for me.
Oh boy.
Send me pictures."
Just imagine Terry taking a selfie with bloody hands.
Okay, you ready? You ready? Are you ready for a good end?
Okay.
Or it's like, you know what would make you feel better? Going home.
And
Just
what does
pour-
Zan say to that?
He's not talking to Zan.
No, Ernest
God.
talking to the
Just
captain.
poured him straight back to the, revolutionary empire.
Oh God. Then the captain looks out over the absolute fucking devastation and looks to Ert and says, if you are in any way responsible for this, I will have your entire family executed.
Yeah, try that, bitch.
Oh God. And the captain, just looking out over the absolute devastation, looks back to the giant swirly portal. That
Off
at this
you go.
Then at this point, what?
And at this point, the captain is just, he's got an expression on his face like every single thing that he has worked toward has just been ripped away from him. And he is trying to find the harshest, most destructive thing that he can do. And he is coming up with a loss of words. He is just absolutely, system locked.
I mean, literally every connection he probably had is sitting here dead.
Yes, literally every connection that he had, literally every person that he trusted is dead.
Zan, would you like to do the honors and escort him off the premises?
I can't cause him pain, but I think I can push him.
Yep.
Zan'll just push the asshole through the portal and say, "Have a great time.
Off you go. Have a good day.
Gently nudge him towards revolution.
Don't trip on your way to hell."
And Dave's like, it'll work out fine, buddy.
And the last thing that you see of a captain is an anguished scream that he will make you regret this somehow.
I am assuming that he won't, though.
I mean, you can't do anything to me. It's in the contract. Just like I didn't do anything to you.
Oh,
He has
boy.
no idea who actually done this.
You have no idea how much I appreciate this truce.
God. That would be probably the best thing for Zan to say at that point.
It's like, amazing! You agreed not to assassinate me for the rest of your life.
And my team. He said it's the whole CRT was on that list, and the whole
That was
Empire
a
was on my
great
list.
deal.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. By the way, $1 million gold is a fuck ton of gold. Let me tell you what.
God.
This man has no connections anymore. Nobody that he can trust. No nothing. And he's setting into the revolution, which is against him. Yeah, we're not going to see him again.
Oh god.
Let's just hope the Earth Elementals don't go with him.
The Earth Elementals, by the way, they inform the captain with their last little bit of power that actually the spell is over now, and they vanish. And here's the fun thing. So here's how this was being handled. The captain was not actually the one in possession of the rune that still controlled the elementals. That was Warrant Officer Petty Sergeant First Class Steve, who died. He had the last rune, and Kethlin confiscated it.
Lovely. We have some runes.
God. Okay, you giant idiots. With that, you have had possibly the biggest and most runaway success on this particular session that I could have possibly have imagined. And this is going to change things a lot.
Yep.
Well,
I
yeah,
think now we need to figure out where to park this army and wrap things down.
Yeah, because Zan doesn't have much left to do.
And it's like later. It's like, do I gotta stay for this shit? No, I guess.
Cushy retirement, bro.
Did you?
Um,
Hey, who
so-
here has 1,000,000 gold? Raise your arm.
Zan just stands with his arm raised at his own question.
quick question. During all of this, I would like to know if Dan Wald, Terry's buddy from communications, has gotten him and his family out of the Empire.
Danwald is on the next ship, which is a kind of fraught thing. Because there's no actual guarantee that the ships are going to be safe from all of the bullshit that is going on.
With enough shape water, you can make a ship out of grass.
Why grass?
Because we're out of shrubs, Zan.
Yeah, Terry will be using his connections to try and get Dan Wald and his family out safe despite everything.
Oh boy. And so
Terry's been a murderous Robin Hood. He kills the rich and helps the poor.
that is such a fascinatingly wonderful, wonderful way of describing Terry. Okay, you giant nerds. Now that you've had pretty much the most unmitigated success that you could have possibly asked for, like, I'm not even charging the army for the CRT effort on this one. Just imagine that Zan comes back, he's grinning wide enough to eat an entire sewer's worth of shit. And yes, I did steal that line from you, Shoggy.
But also, he can't smile because he's a bird.
No, he can smile. It's in his eyes.
Which are behind sunglasses.
Which are behind sunglasses, so you can't see my smile.
It's more the plaque that he's holding above his head, which says, "I am."
No, I'm
the posture.
I'm preening very violently.
It's
Like
the
my
posture
feathers
and
are
the feathers
sticking
are-
out. I'm super puffed.
And
Like-
York and Pep are just looking at Zane, going, "Who did you kill?" No one.
Everybody. Actually, no
No,
one.
no. Zan could say no one very happily.
Literally nobody. But also, I'm a millionaire.
Meanwhile, everyone's watching Kethlin and Terry walk in with the unsettling, gleeful, like, enthusiastic smiles.
I also do.
And Eric's like, "I don't know what the big deal is. We just killed a bunch of people."
God. Why are you?
I mean, they were
all
gonna
like,
die anyway. There was a revolution and shit.
Why are you like this?
I don't know why
Ugh.
you're so full of yourself.
I mean, Terry and Kethlin just got
Fucking elf.
revenge for their entire people who were, taken over by this empire.
Or is like, oh, yeah, that's pretty hardcore. Holds out a fist. Dwarf, bro.
Does Terry bump it?
Terry, despite any better judgment, because he's too happy right now, will bump it.
Yeah. Kill an elf though, and just leaves.
He's just like, of course, but that will not bring me down today.
Oh boy. Okay, so with that, we end off with Toad, Terry, Zan, Kethlin, Lunk-Thunk, and Waffle and Urt all coming back to possibly the most wildly successful mission ever, and now they are faced with the extremely uncertain future of the regiment on the run. And it is more uncertain than previously because, holy shit, what now?
I'm going to Frestiva. I got a fan base.
I guess the next session is just gonna be a ton of wrap up.
I mean, looks like it.
It's a lot of wrap up in certain instances. I could probably finagle some interesting plot points, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, let's plan that out. This feels like a
I mean,
very natural.
talking about 3 or 4 sessions. 3 or 4 sessions left? Nah, this is not 3 or 4 sessions left. This is now.
Oh boy. Okay, so, you giant nerds, I hope that you enjoyed the chaos, and I hope that you enjoyed listening to the chaotic adventures of the regiment on the run. Farewell, everyone, and good night.
Bye.